Late Night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
It's time. The world has been waiting. Everywhere I go in Romford, people can't answer me. They ask, when are you doing it? I say, what? They say, when are you doing more actual wrestling talk live on the flagship? And I said, just wait. We're retooling right now. Novi needs to get himself a break. We need a new member of the roster, and Caden will be there. Just wait. It will happen. And finally, the stars aligned. We are locked in. We are ready to go. We have 8 professional wrestling matches to discuss, 7 in the last month or so, and 1 on its 10th birthday. Wow. That is something to think about. Much to discuss this evening. Expert panel as always. Nova, you're back in the building. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Joe. I haven't watched wrestling in a little while. Joe, I watched 7 of these matches. I'm back. I'm back in a big way. And to kind of bring in this new occasion, I'm returning from LA. I actually do have some breaking news, if you guys would like to hear that, on the wrestling world. So this very night, there's going to be a show by Shin Nihon, New Japan Pro Wrestling for the Americans in the world. Hiroshi Tanahashi is likely going to announce his opponent for his final match in the Tokyo Dome. It's probably going to be tonight. So if you guys want to make sure to tune into that, you won't miss a thing.
Caden Lee, how are you?
Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. That was a very Caden Lee-esque bit.
It was. And your mileage may vary on the effectiveness of such things, which is often the case with Caden Lee, but I respect it. Came out swinging, brother. Nobody's back. Caden, how are you?
I'm good. I watched all 8 matches, which I think will shock some people because I did sit through the 30-minute Yuji Nagata Aoki match.
All you games.
Which
I can't wait for that segment. I really can't. I'm so locked in.
I looked up the match lengths. So I was putting together like how I was gonna attack all these matches and like what order I would watch them in. And I saw that one and I went, oh, okay. Gotta make sure I'm in the right mood for that. So I watched it like the second I got home from work and I ate some Wendy's. So I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be the best time to do it. We'll talk more later about it. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about these matches. It'll be a fun night.
Thank you, Caden. So this is not a burial, I just want to say. I'm working on some new gimmicks for the boys. So like the Oracle of Wrestling, he's going to scrap of wrestling. We're currently thinking his new gimmick's going to be the Oracle of Life. Oh. He's going to like give him a preacher gimmick and try and reboot him.
Okay.
I think there is something to you having like there's something to be said for pro wrestling loves the stoner gimmick, like Matt Riddle type beat.
I'd maybe pivot in a different wrestler's direction, but I don't
Rob Van
hate
Dam?
the idea. Now hold on. Not so bad.
There you go. Adonis, your actual wrestling talk debut. How are you?
I'm good. I just came back from work, had to deal with some fucking idiots. So if you're watching this from my job, you're a fucking idiot. I watched all 8 matches. So I'm excited. One of these matches I absolutely fucking hate. I couldn't stand watching it. I cried, and I can't wait to shit on it. So I'm excited. This will be really fun. That was a joke, by the way, if my managers are watching this. I don't actually think you're an idiot. I just think
I was going to say, this is free, bro. This is free. Yeah.
It's all right. They don't give a fuck.
All right, we have a lot of business to handle here, so we're going to do that now. I'm going to fire up. Caden, field it at 15 seconds. Go.
15.
Yeah, so we got a lot of good matches. Joe kind of mentioned we got Honma and Ishii, which is the 10-year anniversary. We also took a trip to Japan for 2 other ones, Go Shiozaki, Kento Miyahara, Yuji Nagata, and Aoki. And
You're good. You're good.
15, he said.
Yeah. Hunter I was looking at what tiers they were. Thank you, Caden. Hunter has joined LNG Gold. He is a Colliders Unite member. And I want to say this quickly. The Empire has struck back, folks. We are back. LNG Gold, a spike. A spike has occurred. We are back in business. We're at our highest membership count in about 4 months.
Wow.
I don't know what happened.
Wrestling is back.
I presume wrestling heated up. Yep. And people are gearing up for Andrade's 2026, I suppose. So thank you, Hunter, being part of that. Collision. Tomorrow night, we'll be live for Collision. So we hope to see you there, brother. Thank you for being a member.
I'll be there tomorrow, Joe.
Oh, don't. You couldn't insult Hunter with that news. You should surprise him.
My bad.
Our guy Klein also signed up for LNG Gold. It used to be better tier. That seems like some stuff that'll be right up his alley. So welcome aboard. And we appreciate all the support. And I will say, we're working on some great stuff for 2026 in particular. Our plan really is to just go kind of nuts with, making sure that the rest of this year is strong. And then we'll reset. Connor has sent a super chat and said, hey, guys, I don't really watch wrestling anymore either. What's the national title, Caden?
No, hold on. You passed it to Caden, but I don't mind taking this one.
Really?
From Connor. I don't mind, actually. So way back when, right, there was this little title in AEW. It's called the All-Atlantic Championship. It's basically that. So if you just want to do some research on that, it's kind of like, oh, we're going to go around different promotions. Pac went to Europe one time, and that was about it. That's probably what this is going to be. So
Two times.
Be on the lookout.
He had two matches.
Two time. Hold on. Now, if they get to 3, we'll be back.
I thought there was a real chance that Caden would have a very thorough national title explanation. Caden, was you intending to attack this with sincerity, or was you going to do a bit?
I was gonna go off of what I kind of know about it, which isn't a ton.
Yes.
But as far as I understand, it's an homage to the NWA National Championship.
Tell me about Paul Orndorff, please. Explain.
You're a great wrestler, Joe. Someone who when I went back and watched the tapes, I really appreciated his work.
Oh.
And I'm quite interested to see how they tackle the national title, because we mentioned the All Atlantic Championship, which became the International Championship, which is now the Unified Championship. And I liked the idea of it. I would like to see if they actually stick to the idea of what they're saying. And so far, kind of it seems like there is a slight commitment to wanting to do it.
Okay.
But
I actually do have a follow-up question, Joe, before you go ahead.
Okay.
Caden Lee, I was just wondering your thoughts on the current NWA World Champion and how Tiny Khan's trying to fuck on him.
Bro, is that the guy who was getting into it with Joey Janela today?
No. I didn't see all that.
It's a different guy.
Your thoughts? I mean, AEW's trying to fuck on the NWA.
Yeah, who's the NWA World Champion?
He was the former member of the Spirit Squad way back when. I forget his name.
But he's the NWA National Champion.
Yeah, national is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It's national
important distinction.
Very important. But AEW is trying to fuck on the NWA. So, Caden, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that, look, NWA, Ring of Honor, get them on television. You can have that take up an episode.
Great point. Excellent point.
Yeah.
Watch Survivor Series 95 after listening to Grin Grappler. Good show. That show is awesome. I do love the Survivor Series 95. Very important show, too. Very, very important show. Thank you, Connor. Fahad sent a super chat. He said, I haven't watched wrestling since August, waiting for the Andrade business to pick up. Locked in, brother. Locked in. Thank you, Fahad. Great brother Fahad. Sent a healthy super chat. Some love from the chat here. Grant has been a member 14 months. Says, how? Jay versus Miz next week. Grin locks. I don't know about that, but he'll be fine, Seriously though, poor Julia, sorry, Cal. I'm gonna lie, so I didn't see the match. I hear it was really short, which is, obviously very funny. This actually feels like a rare Road Dogg W, to be honest with you. You gotta just restart sometimes. Let's just start over. Now, do I think they're gonna start over? Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. I will say though, for whatever it's worth, the Julia thing has been a disaster. Chelsea Green legitimately does deserve to have a bone thrown back her way every time, once in a while. She's actually over, and they give her nothing, not a single thing to get. So it's give and take. Julia, they didn't help at all. They didn't even give her a chance to get over. I mean, what happens next is most important. Now, what do I think is going to happen next? Nothing. I think, I don't think you'd have any reason to be optimistic about that. The way that it was presented, from what I understand, again, I didn't see this, but what I understand, it did not sound like something that was the prelude to a big fucking main event push. But I could be wrong.
Damn, thought they'd work Mania.
Yeah, well,
It's always
thank
a
you,
SmackDown
Grant.
before.
Yeah, thank you, Grant. Member 14 months, appreciate you. We'll see what happens with Julia. We will be following that story closely, no doubt, in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. We'll be on top of it, folks. Don't you worry.
Yep.
We'll be on top of it. Don't worry about it. Just every week we'll be.
We have people on the ground every week.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yep, we do. We have Cal.
Yeah.
I will learn most of the Julia updates from Cal, quite frankly.
And I won't ask for any of them.
Now this is a Caden Lee vehicle. Wow.
My God.
Like he has a desk and he shuffles papers and he just repeats. Yeah, he basically does Wrestle Purist, but in real live form.
What
could be incredible.
Novi, what if it was like what if we got me like the drama alert set up for actual wrestling?
All right, kill it. Just kill it. Move on. Just no.
Jesus.
It's over. All right, guys.
Killer Caden Lee.
Killer Caden star.
Kill the bit.
I don't
It's
know what you
over.
guys are referencing. It sounds bad. It sounds problematic. All right,
It is a little bit.
folks, we're going to
You're
review
very-
some pro wrestling here in mere moments. If you are fired up for such a thing and you're optimistic you're going to enjoy this program, please do the smashing of the like button and all that stuff, as Bob O'Neill would say. We're going to work through these matches one by one. If you want to know the order the matches are in, they're in the description, because I didn't want to go. I wanted to kind of mix out in terms of what's known and what's less known, So as a result of that, we're actually going to start with what I believe is the most recent match. I believe from November 2nd, the New Japan Pro Wrestling show. I think it was November 2nd.
Sure.
It was. Yes, it was.
The Hiroshi Tanahashi final homecoming show from New Japan, IWGP title on the line. Hirooki Goto is back after, honestly, midway through the year, feeling like a genuine Wrestler of the Year candidate. He dropped the belt, he got hurt, and he is back here to face Konosuke Takeshita in what feels like a bit of a return to kind of what I presume was the core idea for this whole dynamic, right? Takeshita as an outsider and New Japan trying to defend home court. Evil was a bizarre choice for that in the G1 final. Zack Sabre Jr. even was slightly strange. This was a return to what we presumed this idea would be, because this was as simple as Goto trying to get the belt back. And even more specifically than that, the notion of, Goto, who at the start of this year had lightning in a bottle, I believe was Charlton's exact quote, trying to kind of recapture that in order to save the belt for New Japan. They put in some time, as you would expect, I think just shy of 25 minutes. Very intrigued what our panel made of this one. Adonis, I'm going to go straight to you. IWGP title. What did you think?
Yeah, so I like this match for the simple fact that I feel like it's the right match for Takeshita to have. There was a period at the beginning of the year where I thought that whoever was going about his matches completely misunderstood Takeshita as a wrestler. Takeshita is a fireworks guy. He is a guy who throws big bombs, hits big moves, leg slaps his forearms, and he does the whole bit, and he's a very big presence in the ring. And I thought that came across here. I thought that Goto did a really good job of selling his elbow in this match. I thought that there was some really tight stuff where Goto was going for lariats at the end to try to hype himself up, but his elbow just gave out, and it wasn't weak. It wasn't strong enough. I thought that Takeshita did a really good job in the beginning of gradually getting to that sort of big move, near fall ending that you kind of see a lot in modern big matches. I thought that he was really present in the moment. He really took in the fact that for the first time in this run, he has actually felt like the invader and not some guy who just people like because he's Takeshita and most people like him. He really felt like, I thought that the slower approach that he took really aids in things, because one of the cool things about Goto is that he is up there in age. And so there is this real genuine sense of mortality when it comes to his matches, that you're seeing a guy who is sort of fighting against the clock. And there's very few wrestlers in the world that you could put that type of archetype up against better than Takeshita, who's a young stud, if you will. And so I thought Goto trying to match the faster pace was a really interesting way to sort of shift the match from where Takeshita was just kind of keeping it to the ground, holds on the elbow, making sure that he was able to weaken the elbow. And then obviously at the end, you just get the big moves. There's a really sick power bomb bump in this that I thought was legitimately nasty, to the point where I thought Goto was going to legit land on his fucking head. It was fucking insane. So I thought it was one of those matches where it took the modern formula and it actually made the wrestlers earn getting there, as opposed to just kind of doing it from the offset and doing that for 25 minutes. And I thought the seclude setting was actually kind of cool. It felt like a really intimate venue. And it kind of felt like a very New Japan home base venue, if that makes any sense. It felt like Goto was really fighting in front of New Japan's people. And so I thought the performances matched. I thought that everything made sense. It was a gradual progression. And I really liked this match. Probably my favorite Takeshita match in a while. It's been a little bit, but I really like this one.
I like this too. I co-sign much of that, almost all of that, in fact. Caden Lee, do you do the same?
I do. I like a lot of the points Adonis made. Goto Takeshita was what I specifically had saved for my last match because it was what I assumed I was going to like the most. I've been out of like the Young Guns and Joe. I've been the high man on Takeshita throughout the year. I've been watching. Joe, you're like behind. You're like right behind me. But out of us, I've definitely been the high guy on him, and I've liked his work in New Japan, even though there's been some issues with like I haven't loved how everything's been put together so far. And I think part of that's just the way the matches have been laid out, and like you mentioned, Adonis, giving him, or it was Joe or Adonis who I mentioned it, but giving him Evil in the G1 final, I think was just a bad idea to cement it. But Goto here, it was finally where they put together everything and what this style needed to be for this version of a heel Takeshita. Because you have late last year where he was working the heel style and slowing things down to an extent where it was like his matches were getting a little boring. Like I think back to the Full Gear match with Ricochet. Here, he does slow it down early, but then later on, he starts kind of kicking into those the bomb moves and the stuff that we expect from Takeshita that we had seen in 2022, 2023, 2024, or the first half of 2024. And throughout this year in Japan, he had been doing a decent amount of that, especially in the G1 Climax tournament. And so I think he put both of those things together very well in the match with this match with Goto. And part of that is because of Goto being the opponent. He does very well at feeding into those bombastic moves and also hitting some himself. He was the perfect dance partner to really cement what this Takeshita reign needed to be going into Wrestle Kingdom, going into the Dome, because this was Charlton said this is probably going to be Takeshita's last defense before we get to the Dome. And if he's going to lose to Yota Tsuji there, this match needed to do a lot to like actually be like, okay, this is the reign we're doing, or else there was kind of no reason to do this like quick little 4 or 5 month reign. I really did like this a lot. Adonis mentioned that power bomb because there's a power drive knee, and then Takeshita goes immediately into a last ride, and he throws Goto so high in the air that Takeshita fully stumbles back, almost loses his shit into the ropes, and he somehow is able to maintain the control. He doesn't even have Goto like really like anywhere near his shoulders. He's basically fully pushed out, but he somehow has enough power to then get him down onto the mat. It was extremely impressive. That one was insane. This was awesome. There was a really good lariat after Lariato, Joe. After Goto no-sold that driver and suplex combo. Completely no-sold it. He hits a crazy lariat. That's where you get the GTR spot that where he can't make the pin because he's so exhausted. This had a godly last 5 to 10 minutes. I loved this. This, as Adonis said, this was one of Takeshita's better matches in recent memory.
I agree with that. Actually. I will elaborate more in a moment, but first I'll go to my returning friend, Novi. Novi, what do you think?
Look, man, I haven't followed Grab super closely this year, but from what I've seen of Konosuke Takeshita, I was kind of hoping this would make me enjoy him again, because I did not enjoy him before this. I don't like Konosuke Takeshita in AEW. I think he's really bad there. He's not necessarily meant for that shit, to be honest. He's meant to go work here above that fucking lion, and this match is proof. I find his offense to be kind of hit or miss at times in AEW, and low-key it was like that throughout this match, like especially in the heat. I think he was kind of like loose with his stuff, but like that closing stretch, when he gets going, he really throws himself into everything, and that's like what you want to see from him. I don't want to see him work TV matches. It's just not what he's built for. I want to see him work these matches, because like, man, you're talking about the last ride. He nearly killed Goto, and Goto himself, like, I know he's just coming back here. I was kind of convinced, like, for a minute, I was worried about him. I was like, uh-oh. what's going on here? He's working himself back into shape a little bit. And then by the end, he was back because he was rocking the house. He got the people behind him. That revolution started coming into my blood again. I was ready to rock and roll. I was ready to vanquish Tiny Khan from this promotion because I wanted Goto to win. And the moment where that really I felt it was the wheelbarrow suplex, which was absolutely gorgeous because he got him up so fucking high into the fighting spirit spot. And look, fighting spirit spots nowadays, kind of dog shit. That one, God bless New Japan, because that was beautiful. That was everything I want from Hirooki Goto. Yeah, and then we're talking about the last ride once again. That was unbelievable. I was at work watching this match, and I was kind of becoming a problem in the break room when I saw it because I went verbal where I was like, "Holy fuck!" I was like, "Oh, there's people around me. They're gonna hear me." But yeah, this last 10 minutes really moved me. This match was quite good. I hope the match at the Dome is something like this because I think they could really make magic there.
It won't be, but there's a lot of Takeshita talk, and I understand why. And I don't feel as strongly about Takeshita, to be honest, in either direction. I don't feel as strongly as Novi does on the negative side of him in AEW. I don't feel as strongly about him being a transformed force of nature in this setting. To me, this was the Hirooki Goto show, to be quite honest. He is incredible in this match, and he kind of picked up where he left off as champion in the sense that his matches were so refreshing, right? He avoided he avoided the tropes that have really defined and hurt this main event scene in the last few years, where every match feels like it has the same temperament and kind of flavor and pacing. Goto was able to kind of buck that trend in a way that made the main event scene exciting again. I say exciting. It's nothing groundbreaking. Instead, what he really did was just kind of return it to some form of tradition, and it helped out, I think, for some of us that were kind of burnt out. He was incredible in this as the babyface fighting from underneath, as the defender of New Japan, trying to save the belt, restore the belt, or how you want to phrase it. One thing I thought was really impressive about this match, yes, they put time in, and yes, the final stretch was big and loud, and they had big near falls. It wasn't at any point was it a blur of moves where it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Goto's smart enough, I think, to, as everyone's highlighted, he kind of embraced the obvious for this matchup, which is he's physically outgunned, right? And he has pockets of openings. He has that moment where a forearm rocks Takeshita, and Takeshita is out on his feet or falls down or wherever the cell was. Goto, I think, has enough self-awareness where he loved and relished the opportunity to wrestle as an old gunslinger here. Takeshita offensively was up to that task because he has great offense and he can fling Goto around, as you guys mentioned. I still don't know if he's good at pacing his control, where it's very disjointed to me, where it's he'll do something, he'll walk around a little bit, he'll do something. I still don't think it flows when he's leading that part of a match. But Goto is naturally sympathetic, and as Adonis mentioned, his age kind of plays into that, right? Especially against someone like Takeshita. So this really worked. This was one of the best matches we watched for this actual wrestling talk. Maybe the best even. We'll circle back to that later. But it really worked. It isn't a match of the year situation, but I mean this is the greatest compliment. I don't think it had any intention of being that. This was about kind of resetting things, and as Caden mentioned, kind of positioning Takeshita where he should be as this outside force who doesn't care anything about other than beating people up. And we have to say, remarkable how they got the people to bite on that near fall late from Goto. The people really believe Goto actually could win the belt here, which is, in some ways, and I'm sure he physically feels very differently and would disagree with this assessment, I think in some ways this is the best Goto's ever been, to be honest with you. He, maybe it's a case of the surrounding personnel just isn't as good. Maybe. I don't know. So he gets to take more shots. To me, it feels like he's truly figured out the whole thing at this point, I think he's been so good this year. He was great in this match. To me, this was the Hirooki Goto show, and I understand the slight Takeshita, who was very good in the match too, but I really like this a lot.
He's completed himself as a wrestler. He finally really knows who he is. Not that he didn't before, but this is who he was always meant to be. I feel like
it feels like he's like grown into this particular role, I guess is what we're trying to say. Like he's obviously been a good wrestler for fucking 15 years, 17 years, 18 years, whatever it's been. But yeah.
I fully agree, Joe. Goto was a guy who like I always because I didn't get into New Japan until 2019, 2020 on like COVID was when I really started locking in. And Goto was someone who I liked, but I never like I never loved him as much as like I know some people did. This run made me just fall in love with him. Like earlier this year, it was just getting to see him in a new light. It was so cool. It was so nice, honestly.
I think there is something to be said for like the surrounding elements, but I also think that in a way that's kind of like an enhancement of Goto as a wrestler because I'm gonna be honest, I kind of think New Japan sucks this year. I don't know if that's like a hot take. I just don't think it's that good.
No, that's a hot take. No,
but I think that there is something to be said for a guy who embraces this idea of being an old gunslinger who's essentially just trying to because I think one of the things with Goto in the past has been that like New Japan was always such a go promotion and like they had so many heavy hitters in the main event scene that it almost felt like anybody that wasn't within that sort of realm of like the big bombs fest at every match kind of got cast aside. And so I think it's unique in 2025 where you kind of just get the same match no matter what region you're looking for, that a guy who is in his later stages, who is in that sort of twilight phase of his career can sort of in a way, this is a weird comparison, but I equate it in a way to CM Punk in some ways in the sense of Goto's a guy who uses his limitations to benefit the narratives of his matches where, for example, the Yuji Nagata match from earlier this year, that's a match where it's just two guys trying to come to terms with their own physical limitations to see who is able to withstand the pain that they're willing to put themselves through to get to the finish line, right? Whereas in this match, it's like what everyone has been saying, that it's more the old gunslinger trying to use a bunch of old tricks to avoid having to sort of go athletic move for a guy that he can't match that with. And I think that it's really cool to see that duality in a scene that isn't really too diverse, which we'll get to with another match later that I fucking hated. But yeah, go to
I agree to an extent, but I think that description is a little unfair on Goto's like work, which I think is still fucking stout, to be fair. Like his mechanics and the way his physicality, I think is still there. At no point in this match, because this happens a lot, especially with some of the gentlemen in Japan that go really, really deep in their career. God love them. The perfect example is a couple months ago we watched Higuchi and Jun Akiyama. We love Jun Akiyama. Major props and respect for Jun Akiyama. That was at a point of old gunslinger where like I didn't buy anything he did with Higuchi. You know, that is a real thing, right? There's a level you can go to where it becomes like you're almost trying to, you know, it feels like you're conning people. I think Goto, I think he still completely passes the eye test. Like at no point was he hitting Takeshita and I was like, his stuff's still sharp, it's tight. I think it's important we note. I mean, how old is Goto now? He's got to be 45.
40 something, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So,
it's like
I think physically he's hanging in there too, which deserves props. But
46.
even still, Adonis,
He's 46.
thankfully, Takeshita is so explosive. The dynamics still worked, what we're describing. So,
Yeah.
very, very strong match, I thought. Goto was great, and Takeshita, I agree, it's one of his better matches here in recent months. And when he got the room, I mean, look, he always jumps off the page athletically, so always stuff to be impressed by.
Oh, you know we should give love to for
Who's
talking
that?
Goto? Dude, his fucking traps are so big. He looked great.
Beast mode.
God bless.
On the gas. All right.
God bless.
He's a movie star now, bro.
Yeah, bro, he's gonna bulk for the role.
That movie is going to be a day one to watch. Him, Cody, and Roman, the same movie. They probably didn't even film a single scene together. They don't even know each other, I'm sure. It's gonna be awesome.
It's actually awesome, legitimately cool. Yeah.
Fucking man.
Speaking of awesome, I go for Hard as gifted 10 LNG Gold memberships.
This is epic.
If you got one of those memberships, please thank for Hard. 10 LNG Gold memberships from our guy for Hard. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. Hasn't watched wrestling since August, but is locked in here for the Grin. Appreciate you. All right. Anything else on that match? I think we all was on the same page kind of with that match, right?
Yeah, we thought it was beast.
Yeah.
It's pretty straight ahead. I think there's going to be some debates later on, so we'll see how this goes. I don't think there'll be any for this next one, though. Mercedes Mone, the CEO, if you will. in the midst of her belt collecting era, returned to CMLL to wrestle Persephone on the October 17th Arena Mexico show, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Novi is grinning at me, which is alarming. I have much to say about this. Novi, do you? What are you going to say about this?
Which side of the debate do you think we're all going to lean on, Joe? Which side are you envisioning?
I think everyone would have liked the match.
That's bad news because I didn't like this match.
Wow. You see his grin, bro?
What a
Yeah.
guy! That's
Yeah.
This
awesome.
guy's grin.
Oops.
Couldn't
Oops.
wait. He said, "Oops, come on, man." That's
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Wow.
I want to give a quick note before I talk about the match itself. This is to CMLL. I could almost hear the crowd when I was watching, so you may want to turn the commentary up next time, like just a bit more, just to be safe, to make sure that I really I don't hear the crowd. That's ideal.
This guy.
I don't even want to hear it. I'm not interested. I'd rather hear Veda Scott and whoever the fuck else was on that broadcast. But the match, it just to me, this is another issue that I had with okay, Mercedes Mone and Konosuke Takeshita fall into the same bracket for me. I am sick of their style. I don't want to do it anymore. I want some change. I've seen too many of these matches, I think, and that's really my big problem. I think that performances were actually fine, and both of them were really good. I think Persephone, she looked, carried, and worked like a star. She is gonna. I think she's already kind of taken it up a notch. I saw her in Texas in the ROH 4-way, and I was like, she jumps off the page as being particularly athletic and really skilled between the ropes. Mm-hmm. But here, I just found my focus really going towards her every time. I'm just interested to see what her work looks like, and she killed it. So God bless Persephone. This is about if you've watched Mercedes Mone, this is exactly the Mercedes Mone you think it's going to be, which is good. I'm just kind of sick of the match, and maybe that's that's not me even saying that the match was bad. It's just a personal thing. I'm just kind of tired of it all. I'm still excited. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's maybe a Willow feud coming up for Mercedes. I feel that would kind of reignite love. I don't know. That's possible coming out of Blood and Guts. I hope so, because that would reignite my love for Mercedes Mone a little bit. I still think she's good and stuff like that. I'm just it's been a lot. That's all. The counter after the Moneymaker, I'll give a specific spot. The counter where she just kind of pops out and then just hits moves. Didn't love it. A little eye rolling for me personally. God bless. It is what it is, fellas. My bad. It is what it is.
Wow. This guy's auditioning for Busted Open tonight, fellas. I disagree entirely, which is fine. I thought Mercedes Mone was incredible in this match. I didn't
say she was bad, by the way. Didn't say she was bad.
You didn't, but I thought this was one of Mercedes' best performances of the entire year. To be completely honest, and I like Persephone, and I think Persephone has star potential, but I also think she has a lot of rough edges still. And I thought the way Mercedes presented her here as the NWA champion, stopping through the territory, I thought was fucking sensational. I definitely get I think there is a fatigue with the Mercedes match, and we can talk about this more once everyone gives their take, and we'll delve into this part a little bit. But I think there is a fatigue with the Mercedes match where she tries so hard to elevate the opponent that the match sometimes comes off she just gets the shit kicked out for 12 minutes and then wins. I get that.
Thank you.
And I do think sometimes her matches are hurt by trying too hard to lift up the opponent. I didn't think that was the case here. I thought Persephone was up to that task, and I thought she was excellent, Mercedes that is, throughout. We'll talk about that more in a second. Firstly, Caden Lee, where do you stand?
Yeah, I side more with you, Joe. I thought that I quite like this match with Mercedes and Persephone. Mercedes likes to do this little back and forth to start her matches, where you're kind of just kind of doing the little things. And this definitely happened here. Sometimes it can get a little too cute, and we've seen it in matches before, especially in AEW, where there's some miscommunication, and it happened a lot in her first few months there. This one was very good. I was a little worried about Persephone at certain moments where I was oh, she might miss the cue on this. No, I thought they were very crisp early on. There's a good, nice little springboard plancha by Persephone that Mercedes rolled through, and then Persephone did that little aura farming slide out of the pin, which fucking ruled. There were some clunky moments early on as well that did happen, but they weren't anything that was like particularly worrying, and they were able to find their footing very quickly and just kind of got back on track. That's another thing where, like, because Persephone is she's not necessarily new, but she's a little bit more green. You kind of worry about, okay, how is she going to do whenever you have those miscommunications, especially in the main event with Mercedes. And I thought Mercedes also did a great job at making sure everything was going well. Like you said, she did an incredible job in this. It was one of her better performances I've seen in a really long time. She was spectacular. She did the Mercedes formula that she's been doing, but she did it in a way where it stood out, because some of the Mercedes layouts, she's doing a good job, but it's like, okay, we've seen this a million times. No, there's like little things that she does. She goes over to the crowd and sprays water at somebody at one point. The things that she does. She does
family.
Yeah, that's how it was. Was it Persephone's family? I had a mute commentary halfway through this. I couldn't do it anymore. That's all I'll say about the commentary, Joe. But that was awesome. She did a little bit more lucha stuff than normal, which I thought also was awesome. She did the because she usually does the backstabber into the statement maker. This time she did the DRS into the statement maker, kind of like how Mystico does that into La Mystica. I quite liked this. The only actual issue I had is I would have liked to have seen Mercedes maybe do a little bit more heel work, because there were moments where Persephone did things that were heelish, even though she was never the heel on this. The crowd was chanting Mexico throughout. They were very much on Persephone's side. And that's kind of how it was presented. At least, like, that's my understanding of it. And maybe I'm missing something. And sure,
Persephone's the baby face.
If I'm wrong. Yeah, I thought it was very clear, but there are moments, and Joe, did you notice that there are moments where Persephone like was doing very heelish tactics, especially early on?
I think that's just her personality. She's kind of a shit talker and she's kind of cocky, I think.
Yeah.
She doesn't give a fuck, Haydenly.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Well, I don't just. I think that part's fine. It was just that Mercedes, I didn't think until the second half of the match never reciprocated and showed many heel tendencies early, and I would have liked that a little more. That's my only like little nitpick of the match. Besides that, I quite liked this. This was very good. Persephone looked amazing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of Mercedes. Like, I thought she was like healing to the fucking max in this, dude. She was talking shit. She was getting fans' faces.
I saw it more later. I just, like, the first half of the match, I didn't see as much as I wanted. And maybe I'm just a fucking moron, but...
No, you're not. Well, thought that through, actually, maybe. No, look, I think, I thought the first few minutes of the match, I agree with you completely. A little clunky, a little cute. I don't think that was the right way to start the match with Persephone, with the, like, slick sequencing, especially because Persephone's frame, like, Persephone's big, dude, you know, like,
she's tall as fuck.
Yeah, she's fucking big, like, so I thought it was kind of the wrong play to do these like kind of quick slick sequences, and I thought that was the worst part of the match. I thought the match just went through the gears rapidly when Mercedes took over, when she cut her off to the floor. Adonis, I'm intrigued what you made of our matchup here.
Yeah, so when you sent me this list, I had already seen this match, but I wanted to watch it again just to see. I should not have rewatched this match. I still like it. I have to say, I still like it. However, there are just, so I fully agree. I actually think the second half of this match is like, to me, honestly, probably Mercedes' best performance in terms of not the actual work. I don't think as an actual like moves to moves performance. However, I think Mercedes as Mercedes Mone has never felt more like Mercedes Mone than she did this match. I think that she completely owned the Arena Mexico stage. I think that she wrestled like a woman who walked into a building like the biggest star on the planet. And I think that speaks to her work a lot. My one issue with this match, and it's more so with the first half, this match wrestles under the idea of what this match could have been versus what it actually ended up being. And what I mean by that is, I think when you look at the billing and you see Mercedes Mone in Arena Mexico wrestling one of CMLL's biggest women's stars, you think you're going to get this grandiose, big epic. You're going to get you got the cool entrance, you got the cool vibes, all that. However, I think that there was a cooler story to be told in this idea that like Persephone has been building herself up for all this time, and this is her big opportunity to really. It's kind of similar to the Goto Takeshita match and like the whole Invader versus home turf kind of archetype. I thought. I don't know if that ever felt fully realized in this match. I think that I like Persephone. I don't think this was her best night in the office. I think that she did not really jump off the page to me as like this sort of not last line of defense, but this sort of home turf defender of CMLL. I thought that she wrestled as just a woman that got to wrestle Mercedes Mone, which is not entirely a bad thing. I mean, sometimes it's just kind of how it goes, and it kind of speaks to a little bit of what you guys were talking about with the sloppiness of the match early on. However, I actually think the last like 5 minutes of this match with the constant I don't know what does she call the bank statement now? What is she is it the money?
The money maker. No, that's a submission.
No,
Statement,
that's
the statement
maker.
Statement maker.
I actually think that the last couple minutes with the dramatics of if Persephone is going to reach I actually thought that was really, really well done. I thought Persephone sold it really well, and how she like kept fighting. She kept trying to raise her arm up, but she just gradually got more exhausted. And then she would perk up, and then she would. I thought that the last 5 minutes of this match I thought were fucking excellent. I just don't think it was built to that well in the prior minutes, unfortunately. Although I really cannot put over Mercedes enough. I actually thought I agree with you, Joe, in the sense I thought she was fucking awesome in this match. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, I thought this match was tremendous. I again, beyond the little kind of shaky start, which when people haven't worked a lot, whatever. Mercedes bumping, selling, stooging, healing, all of the above. I thought was just like A+ across the board. Yeah. Atmosphere was tremendous, which is something that has been an issue for some Mercedes AEW matches, no doubt. That's been a thing. This didn't have that problem at all. This felt like a big deal in this setting. And I thought she completely just like embraced that atmosphere and was completely spot on. I do agree with Adonis. Persephone mechanically has probably had better nights. Probably some of the stuff was a little bit beyond where she's currently
cute.
at.
It's just
I
try to get too flashy, which happens. It's hard. It happens.
It is, but the people still were like they bought her and they believed her as a contender, so it never affected the heat for the match. The people were still fucking. I don't know. I thought the match was tremendous. It is more polarizing than I anticipated. Clearly, I led this segment by saying I think we'll all be on the same page. We were not. But yeah, I thought Mercedes was great in this, and I thought the match was really, really strong. So. An interesting one. I do think, and we've kind of discussed it enough, we'll move on, but I do think sometimes Mercedes can try too hard to elevate opponents, and that's an issue. I didn't find that to be an issue here, necessarily, so an interesting one. All right. There we go. Anything else on that before we move forward here?
No, I'm just glad you mentioned her bumping. Her bumping in this match was fucking awesome. She did for as much as I didn't think Persephone was that great, I do think that Mercedes did a really good job making her offense look impactful. So, again, Mercedes was quite great in this, I thought.
Chi-Town Spurs. Can you guys review SmackDown? So I saw the Lash Legend debut. I like Lash Legend. I don't really understand why she's debuting as Nia Jax's tag team partner, but, you know, it is what it is. That's all I saw on SmackDown, but... Lash Legend looked really cool, and she like flung Alexa Bliss around, which looked cool. So good for Lash Legend.
If we're ever in a setting where I can make Joe watch a match, there is one match on SmackDown I'm definitely going to put up for contention. I would love for Joe to check out the United States Championship match. It seems like fans abroad thought it was a real classic. I mean, Ilya is one of the highest rated wrestlers on Dropkick, so it makes sense that he had such a great match on SmackDown.
Thank you, Chi-Town Spurs. Plethora says, this one for Caden. He says, Caden, what do you make of Tony Khan blocking Nakamura from being Tanahashi's opponent? Allegedly. Caden?
Was that in the Fightful Select report, or is this like a different thing?
Oh, I bet it wasn't.
I think Plethora is just confronting you. Man to man.
It's crazy, Novi. I don't know. I don't know if he did or didn't. If he did, I don't know. Let's look. Let's say hypothetically he did. I don't know. Fair play, I guess.
Let's make a Venn diagram on the positives and negatives of why he do such a thing.
Like I don't care enough either way, to be honest. Like I think it's fair if he said no, don't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. That's woke of him. Fuck off.
Thank you, Plethora. Is this a thing that people are saying? I haven't seen any of this.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that at all.
I would like
Yeah.
it to be him. So.
I think it's gonna be Okada.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Okada. Never mind. I'd rather be Okada.
It'll be Okada. Plethora.
Be a better
thank you.
match.
Oh, his new theme in the dome. Yummy.
Oh baby. Oh Novi.
Yummy,
Oh, lock
yeah.
the fuck in.
You guys are fucking perverts. All right.
I
love
Okada.
I
It's
love
time.
that song.
I think Adonis is about to yell. It's time. All Japan Pro Wrestling. We're home.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
October 22nd.
Okay.
All Japan Pro Wrestling raising an army. Korakuen Hall. Go Shiozaki. Recently departed Pro Wrestling Noah. Showed up in All Japan. He joined the lead faction. I forget what they're called. The one with Odyssey Jones. And
Yep.
he
Turning
wrestled,
Point USA.
Whoa. It's aggressive.
he wrestled Kento Miyahara, who is and has been for a decade now. Like the guy in All Japan, and they kind of just go back to him at every turn. Saito's title reign, from my understanding, was kind of losing its way, and they just go back to Kento. So, this is actually a really big match for current All Japan. Make of that what you will. I think they did a pretty good house at Korakuen Hall, which is where All Japan is at this point, right? People were surprised they went to this so soon, and I sense there will be a range of opinions for this one. Adonis, let's get this out of the way.
Folks, this match fucking sucks. This match is fucking terrible. Okay, let me just say this.
All right,
Whenever I go
take it easy,
on these,
man. Take it easy.
listen, whatever. Let me just say, whenever I talk about the fact that I think wrestling is cooked, these are the matches that make me think we're heading towards our demise even sooner. There is no life. There is no soul. It's two guys trying to do a walk and brawl in a regular match with no fucking sense of anything. The only cool thing in this match is the finish where they struggle on a German suplex. That's fucking cool. I wish I didn't sit through 23 minutes and 46 seconds to fucking whatever the fuck it was to get to it, but it sucked. Okay. When I mentioned the Puro style at the beginning or the formula in the Goto Takeshita match, this is like the complete opposite in that it's two guys that decided, all right, we're going to just hit each other really hard for 20 minutes and the sound is going to echo because there's no one in the fucking building, although it was kind of a good house according to Joe. So shout out to you guys in Old Japan, kind of. But it legit just felt like these two guys were just going through the motions and I had to sit there in a straitjacket, which is just my room in this chair I'm sitting in now. But I didn't feel anything. It didn't feel like there was any snap to their work. It didn't feel like there was any urgency. It just felt like empty striking. It felt like if you were playing a video game and you were playing an empty arena match in a fucking room by yourself. That's literally what it felt like. It just felt so lifeless. And I just thought to myself, why the fuck am I sitting here watching this match? And I've had to hear about these two guys for years. And I like Go, I think. I don't know anymore now. This match has made me question if I ever really did. I'll be honest, folks. This is my first Miyahara match. I swear. I've never seen him wrestle until now. I don't know if I want to again. Maybe there's better. Maybe there's something out there. Maybe if I go on Cage Match and I look him up, Dave's giving him like a fucking 7 3/4 or whatever. Maybe I have to watch it. I don't want to anymore. I don't. Okay? Never mind the fact that I saw Zion Quinn and Odyssey Jones in the beginning of this fucking match for the entrance. I've had enough. No more. The match is bad, folks. It sucks.
Wow.
Worst of the year contender for me. I hated it. There you go.
Damn. Wow.
I really like this match. This match was fucking gutsy. It had real soul and spirit to it. Go Shiozaki is fucked physically. Like, holy shit, he's fucked. He's been through the ringer. He's had a lot of injuries. I thought that gave the match, like, a real fucking feeling to it because he's struggling out there at times physically. I mean, it is what it is. Now, I have a different issue to Adonis because he's never seen Kento before. Kento does just do the same thing in every fucking match, which is challenging if you've seen him wrestle a lot. And sometimes I go like 6 months without watching him wrestle and I come back and he just still does the headbutt on the floor. Like, all of it is the same. That was my one issue of it. He is very much just like, you know, a guy who's kind of plays the hits, which is fine. But I thought this, to be honest, I couldn't disagree more with Adonis because I actually thought this was such a nice, refreshing return to just, it was simple physicality. This, to me, this didn't get carried away. This didn't get lost in like near falls. They go heavy on near falls on Kento at the end, but they're not like back and forth, back and forth. I thought this was like an old school pro main event with some fucking thudding blows and two old lads who are trying their best to hang in there. I like this match a lot. I'm intrigued where you lads are going to split the difference here. Novi, what did you think?
Dudes rock.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Novi's back.
Yeah, man. These guys have their limitations. The runtime, a little aggressive, I'll say. But the chops, you know? And look, Adonis, you're talking to me about you're hearing echo, and I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing the halls of Kirkin just fucking booming for these two fellas. They're ready to see some old lads throw some chops. They want to see some bumps to the outside. They want to see some limb work from time to time. That doesn't get remembered the whole time. It's no big deal. That's what we're looking for. This is what it's all about. You just have to work a shoulder and you have to forget about it. That's the spirit of the game. And look, the drama, it just got me. Dudes rock. I don't really watch. I don't know if I've ever seen much of Kento. I think I've watched like one or two of his matches before, so I don't have the problem Joe had, and I've only seen a couple from Go as well. I thought they look like, obviously they're old, but in like a, I don't know, charming old fella kind of way.
And it
very
works
much
still good too.
It works just fine. It's a very much Yuji Nagata kind of way to me. And I didn't watch the match that he's
they
in.
hit harder, bro.
They
Hit harder.
They do hit a little harder. And look, I heard rumors that match was a little mat worky. The one that you guys will talk about, didn't watch it. But this is like, I'm glad I didn't, because this is what I'm looking for. If I'm going to Kirk and Hall, I want to see this shit, dude. And did I see everyone in the crowd? No, but I could hear them, and that's all that matters. They popped on the chops. Adonis, you're wrong.
Novi, you're wrong. That really hurt my hand. I'm not doing that. God, fuck. Ow. All right.
Caden,
That's why he's afraid of the chops, because his hand is soft.
Caden,
It's soft.
where
Soft
do you
hand,
stand
brother.
on this great debate?
I fear Kale perfectly predicted what I was gonna say. It was fine. I think my actual note was, this has good work, but it's just not necessarily for me, I fear.
Really?
It just like it just struggled at any point.
What? Can't people just hit each other for 20 minutes and go home now?
Yeah, they can't. Like they can't.
That's what I'm saying, Joe.
Here's the thing.
Can't go with anything nowadays.
Here's
though.
what
You fucking can, dude. It's disgusting.
Here's what my take is like, that was fine. They can do it. It's just not for me. And I'm okay saying it's not for me and calling it a day.
Caden,
Because like
I worry about you, bro. I worry. Were you wearing your glasses through this match?
If
Were you
Ishii did this
wearing them?
exact match on Fighter Fest, Caden would be like 4.5. Like,
That's-
fuck.
Yeah, probably.
That's
Yeah,
not-
that's a good point.
Caden, you have to
look, it just
look
didn't look-
at the ring mat and see
Novi.
the fucking logo. You have to see the logo. It's All Japan.
Yes.
All Japan Pro Wrestling. The red.
I don't like when you yell at me. You know this. We talk about it.
Get
behind the
fucking
scenes.
with it, man.
Okay.
Leave
had
it something.
Reset. That was my fault. Carry on, Caden.
Yeah. It just look. It never hooked me throughout the match. I very much wanted it to. I never felt. I thought there were moments where I was like, oh, they're gonna get me, and they just never did. Yeah, Buster wouldn't like. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Buster.
Very good usage.
Talking about Buster like he's actually dead is godly, I gotta say.
Wrestling. Never
It wasn't my cup of tea.
No, look, it wasn't like a bombastic match of the year, but like that's why I fuck with it. Like this was honest, man. This
They didn't
was
try to
get
be
home
something
from
they
work.
weren't.
That's
Dude.
fine.
Get home from work, put it on the telly, and go look at Go out there.
It was
Look
like
at him.
I would have given like if I like actually rated matches on Dropkick or anything, I could give it like 3.25 and call it a day.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll just keep it buck. I haven't seen Go in a bit. I was very excited when Go left Noah because I wanted him to be the NWA champ. When I saw him in this current state, I went, "Oh Jesus!" It made me very sad. And then he threw a chop, and I went, "Still got it.
Your
Still
fucking
got it."
ears perked up, dude. He said, "You hear that? I heard that."
That echo, that familiar
Yeah,
Go
bro.
Shiozaki echo. I thought he was fucking great in this match, dude. I
Thought
mean,
he
he's
was
beat
balling.
up. He's beat up. He's got he's a little flabby now because he looks like an old man, doesn't he? Bless him. But
Yeah.
he's this was tough, hard hitting stuff. I like this. Adonis, you were very aggressive towards that guy Go, who's a late night Grin sponsored wrestler. So,
Yeah, listen, to go Shiozaki, I apologize for being mean to you. I don't apologize for being mean to your match. So your match sucks. Sorry.
what
You-
was
you
your,
mu-
so
you
your
probably-
beef? Just genuinely, what your beef was? It was very just like they just went.
I
through
just thought it was
motions.
super generic. I get what you mean in the sense of like it's a match that knew. I do think that's actually my one sole compliment with this match. It knew exactly what it wanted to be. I just think that it was what it wanted to be in a way that like completely was just against. I just thought it just had no life to it. I don't know. Maybe I just look at things weirdly. Maybe my brain
No,
just
I don't think
doesn't
it's
work.
that. I think, but this feel you being so offended by it does feel like it's indicative of you just not liking the genre, which is fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, to be honest, it wasn't like they did anything particularly. They just sort of
No.
hit each other.
Yeah, they
20
just
minutes.
they're two old fucks that hit each other, and normally
Yeah.
I'd be all down for that. Like, there's another match we're gonna talk about with two old fucks that I was super down for. I just it is what
It
it
happens.
is. It happens, Yeah.
Yeah, it does happen.
Made for a good moment though, folks. You can clip that.
I still I will continue to campaign for Go to be a Collision exclusive wrestler in the States. He just flies over and does Collision and goes home.
Bro,
Who you having to
we
wrestle?
can make a
Night
motion
one,
with
Joe.
that, dude.
Week 1,
I've-
Joe. Who's he working?
I've already made my.
You know
statement clear.
exactly
He's
who it is.
wrestling Dex
Adonis.
Hole.
Come- Yeah, you know exactly
Conclusion.
who it was. Come on.
How many minutes they going, Joe?
12.
40.
God bless. No, 12 is perfect.
Yeah,
Let's
they're gonna go 40 in the main event, Joe.
No, I think. Look, so we have our fun
we're
and games.
yeah, we're trolling. We're being a little silly.
I think Go would be doing his boots in Gorilla, and everyone would go, "No, 12's fine."
Dude, you know what Go would be good in?
NXT.
The conglomeration,
More games?
man.
Oh, fuck off! I'm not doing that.
All right, moving on. Let's move on, guys. Let's go.
Bro, they did a pole driver on the apron in this match. God, this was.
Bro,
They do a pile driver on
did you
the
hear the
apron. Yeah, that was
crowd,
cool.
bro?
This match was so manly, bro. Oh, it was so manly.
Oh, dude. Bro, I got
And
done
look-
with my warehouse job today, and this was just like exactly what I needed, man. It was like a
Dude.
hungry man.
At one point in this match, Go was just like walking, and he was like grimacing and scowling, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's how I feel."
Bro, this is hungry man wrestling. The
Yes,
TV
it
dinners,
is.
dude. Fuck
Yes.
yes.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
Wonderful.
Jesus Christ.
Wonderful. All right. Now it's time for Caden Lee's segment, guys. AEW Dynamite brings us Bandido versus Kazuchika
It's
Okada.
funny, Joe. It's funny you say that because I haven't watched Dynamite in like a month.
I know. I just feel like there's an unofficial thing for him where Nova and I are an alliance, and he's doing an AEW thing, so I just thought I would get in on it while the action was hot. October 22nd, AEW Dynamite. This was the TV after Wrestle Dream, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes. After Bandido defended the belts against Okada and Takeshita. Bandido and Okada, this got a lot of love. This was the main event on the TV. And continued kind of a shift perception-wise in Okada's recent work. It seems like people are more into him right now than they were 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it may be.
Maybe
so,
even like 2 months ago, really.
yeah, so this was for the unified title, whatever that means. Caden Lee, firstly, what does the unified title mean? Secondly, what did you make of the match?
The unified champion, the AEW Unified Championship is the championship of the combined AEW International Championship and the AEW Continental Championship. This Kazuchika Okada won when he defeated Kenny Omega at AEW All In Texas. I thought this was quite a good television main event. Yeah, this is open with like a very big fight feel. The San Antonio crowd, which a great place to do this, considering like you're San Antonio and you have Bandido in the main event, like the fucking rules. They were going crazy like throughout this entire thing. They added so much to this match. It showed like Okada, because he got pinned, but he actually took the pin against Bandido at the Wrestle Dream match because Bandido did the 21 plex with one shoulder, which does play a role in this match as well. The first few minutes of this was kind of setting up that Okada was a little bit scared of Bandido, and Bandido had sort of gotten in his head. And then Okada, he settles in a little bit. He does his heel shtick. He takes control. And then you go through the commercial, and then you come back and you get into a fantastic 5-10 minute finishing sequence. I think it was more like about 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Where they go crazy. Bandido does some awesome shit with the X knee as well as the 21 plex, just kind of like doing some stuff like that. He hits a frog splash, I think, at one point that was awesome. There's Okada earlier on does some heel work in front of his was it his grandma or was it his mom?
His
I believe his
grandma, right?
His grandma, yeah. That was awesome. Absolutely ruled. He does the so the 21 plex in this one I thought was such an my thoughts are all over the place a little bit. I'm sorry, Joe. The 21 plex that he does. So he hits the first 21 plex, and in the match a few days before this, he does the one armed, and he's able to then use his good arm, which was it's his left arm. I have it in here. It's his right shoulder that's good. So he does it with his right arm, and he's able to use that to then go into the bridge and gets the pin. In this match, Bandido decides to do the 21 plex with both of his shoulders because he's kind of doing okay. Okada did work it, but it's doing okay. And but because of that, he cannot do the bridge because that shoulder gave out and he was fucked. He was too fucked. And I love that little detail. He got a little too overconfident. And so, yes, while he hit the move, he didn't get the bridge on the pin and couldn't take it down. There's the little psychology that he does in this.
Limb work affecting a match is absolutely important. Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah. And it's such a nice little sequel coming off of the tag match. The little detail of Okada slowly but surely, because he goes for a second 21 plex to fully put Okada away after hitting the X knee, and Okada slowly like kind of moves back a little bit and hits him with that and catches him and hits him with the Rainmaker. That was something I hadn't seen anybody do to the 21 plex yet, and I loved it. That's one of my biggest issues with the move is like, okay, just let go of the ropes, and then Bandido can't really do anything, and Okada did it that time. And it took advantage a little bit. It worked really well in this match. I thought this, for a television match specifically, I thought this was awesome. It took a little bit to kind of get where you needed it to get, but because it was a TV main event, it was fine. And because the crowd was rocking too, like there were no issues with it. Exactly what it needed to be. I would love to see these two go longer if the moment presents itself, because I think if you gave them 25, they would do godly shit.
I agree the finish for this was superb. Excellent finish. I agree with that completely. Adonis, what did you make of the match?
Yeah, especially for 2025 Okada standards, I actually like this quite a bit. One of the early moments that I really liked was to Caden's point about this sort of like progression from their Wrestle Dream match. There's a spot early where Bandido's going on the top and Okada's going to do his usual drop kick in midair, and Bandido just kind of waits and baits him. And that little stuff like that I think is super cool, because in any real scenario, if you are going to if you fight someone twice in a row, you're obviously going to duck their normal jabs because they've already hit you with it before, so you would know it's coming unless you have no reflexes. But I thought it was a really good way to establish that Bandido isn't just a tag wrestler who got a pin on Okada. Like, no, he is a legit guy who can really offset this sort of momentum that Okada has had throughout the year, because I don't believe Okada's lost in a singles match this year. And so I thought to that, I think this is one of Okada's better performances in the sense that he allowed himself to be something other than Okada. I thought it was really cool to see him take the bulk of the finishing stretch, in the sense of he was doing most of the bumping at the end. And I thought that was a really cool thing, because oftentimes with Okada matches, you kind of get the same formula of it starts off really slow, and then you get to those explosive 5 to 10 minutes at the end that are like big move, near fall. And they're always super electric, but the crowd's always hot for it. And we got that here, but I thought it was really interesting that the one story thread from the Wrestle Dream tag match is that Bandido has sort of studied Okada, and that now it's Okada who's chasing after him. And so he has to do those little things. Like at the beginning, the way he gets the heat is that he hides on the opposite side of the ring that Bandido's not looking at. So when Bandido runs around, Okada just catches him with a punch, and then we're off from there to the heat segment. And I think it's really cool that the structure of the match is Okada having to take these little routes out, because for how gifted he is as a big match wrestler, athletically, he's not quite up to par with Bandido in that respect. So he has to try to figure out ways to exercise his intelligence and experience in big matches to sort of temper the pace that Bandido wants to go at, which is why I think that the slow pace that Okada typically does works better here because of who it's opposing. And like to Caden's point, the crowd was just super into this, more so than they are for most Dynamite TV matches these days, which I think is a really, really big help, because Bandido is legitimately one of the better and biggest AEW success stories of the year, in terms of, if you look at where he was doing the Jericho stuff at the beginning of the year and you look at him now, he legitimately feels like a guy that could win the world title in a year, and like people wouldn't bat an eye to it. And I think when you're wrestling a guy like Okada who has such pedigree, you need to be able to have a guy that doesn't need to be risen to that occasion, but kind of just does it anyway from the minute he walks in. And so it's a match that pitted two of AEW's biggest stars in a big match, and they had a big match. And I thought that Bandido, specifically with his arm selling, in terms of how much of a struggle it was to get off. Like, he was trying to do the vertical suplex, but he had to get him up a little bit slower. So Okada just kind of backed out with a knee to the head and got back in control. Stuff like that. I actually thought this match succeeds more in the minute stuff than it did in the grandiose stuff, which just is really cool at the end. But it's more like the Goto Takeshita match, in that the ending stretch feels really earned because of the work done beforehand. So I like this quite a bit. Probably my favorite Okada match this year, to be honest with you.
Novi, high praise. What do you think?
Man, I would love to come on here and talk about my real feelings about AEW and to use this as a vehicle to do so. But I simply cannot, because these two guys went out there and fucking balled up, dude. I really like this match. Bandido and Okada have really great chemistry. I think Adonis really exemplified why. I just think their styles mesh really well together. And I know a lot of people have issues with Okada and like Flair. There's some egregious examples, but this is a good reminder. Like, I just love to see him lock in a little bit. It's like he's still one of the sickest fucking wrestlers in the world whenever he really, like, he just plays into a match. And Bandido, like, we're talking about world championship in a year. I fucking hope so, because I think he's really, really good. He deserves that kind of spot. I think he has matches worthy of that spot, even at this point. And this match, like, it wasn't super long, which helped it a lot. Like, if it was like a 20-minute affair, I probably wouldn't be as high as it, because it would mean like more of that heat. And I like when they really get explosive with it, where they play into the counters. I know it got clipped up a lot on Twitter and I saw it, but this is like the first time I got the context where, you know, he tries to go for the 21 plex, but Okada backs up while he's running the ropes. Bro, that's the intricacies I love to look at whenever I'm watching pro wrestling. That's like, it really got me. This is the first one I watched too for this. So it was like, it set me up nicely. It was very good. It was a sexy match. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Bandido does in the future. I mean, I think we all are. I think every one of our audience members are too. Because I think a lot of people realize, and like, he's a guy I think connects with a lot of different types of wrestling fans. But I think this match is a good example. Like, he can really do it all. Like, if you guys want to forget about it, he can do it all. He's an incredible wrestler, and shout out to Okada. Still an incredible wrestler. Hope he works the dome.
This was pretty good, I guess. Bandido was great in this match. Worked really, really hard. Great babyface. Awesome offense. Selling, spotty, but it's fine. I don't, he didn't really have much to sell. Unfortunately, I have news. Today we will launch the Burt ban list. With that in mind, I think you guys are. Everyone is conned. They've been fooled. The wall has been pulled over their eyes. If this is Okada locked in, I can't remember. He must have been like fucking sleeping in the ring. He walks around in matches, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he just walks around. I don't get how. Like, it blows my mind. I can't wrap my head around it. I can't believe it's just the thing he does now. He just walks around.
Here's the problem with that, Joe. And I hear where you're coming from. But unfortunately, you don't have history to back you up, because you are a notorious Okada hater. You've not liked a single one of his matches ever.
Yeah, they all. Whoa, hey, I was liking Okada matches when you were at school, son. In this run, I like, this is me. Jokes. I'm being silly. Obviously, this is a show. Yeah. I don't like watching him wrestle anymore. It's taken me a while to just concede on that, because at one point I was a huge mark for Okada. And his matches with Tanahashi were a huge part of my fandom. I just find him to be like unbelievably dry. And to me, he's worked into his shtick that like he doesn't really care and he's like above it all. And that makes it worse, because then it's like part of what he does. But like there's no facials.
No, he grins and he sneers. He smirks.
He does facial.
When he's like working though, there's no like aggression or oomph. Like, he just walks around, like he just executes stuff like it's in a manual.
I would like you to look back at this match. I'd like you to just skim through it, and he hits this little move, like he jumps in the air, both of his legs come up, he like shotguns into the guy's chest. I think they call it like a drop kick. Dude, he fucking kills people on those drop kicks.
Let me be clear. his work is always good because it's easy for him. That's the problem. It's too easy for him. His work's always good. The final few minutes of this are great. Okada's timing is amazing. The finish is terrific. I agree on all of that. I just think when he's like, when he's just steering the ship in a wrestling match, he does it like he's like, walking around to the store. And I understand that's that's the act. But like, doesn't mean I have to find it entertaining to watch. I wish he had more oomph or aggression or spite, or it just doesn't engage me. It doesn't entertain me. It's like it just has. There's no fight to it. No fucking edge to it.
I'll be serious for a minute. I don't think that he was running this match. I think he was more playing into Bandido's match entirely. I don't think
back half. But what about when he was in control and he's just like, and also he's got so loose with his work, dude. Like he was throwing these fucking forearms to the shoulder.
Oh, those are bad. Yeah,
those are aggressive.
But that shouldn't be a thing that you guys just pass over. That's the fucking.
Well,
that's
no one knows how to
match.
throw a strike anymore, Joe.
But that's
this is important. Like the fact that you all immediately was like, oh yeah, they look like shit. It's like. That's important,
Joe,
bro. Like you shouldn't. Your standards when you're a level of wrestler that he is, and I've defended Okada. Never forget the Brody King thing. Montel and I leave through.
I was about to bring up the Brody King thing.
There are stretches in matches where Okada just doesn't care to make contact, and it's just it frustrates me because I find it's sort of, to me it's like an inside joke that I'm not in on, so it kind of grates on me.
I'm gonna be honest.
The match was good because Bandido's fucking incredible this year,
Joe, look, he says bitch.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So
he's
Joe,
he's a great pro wrestler.
Like, okay, so you say it's like infused in his character, this idea that like he just doesn't give a fuck because he's like above everything. Do you think that it doesn't work because somebody like that would think, okay, well, if I'm better than everyone, I'm just going to show off and be aggressive and do all my stuff in a way that has like an extra step because I'm that much better than everybody?
Yeah,
do you think that would work better?
I wish he was more spiteful, and sometimes he is, but I don't know. I don't like watching him in control of matches because to me he just looks like a guy who's just bored. And I understand. Again, I know that's the act. He's bored. I get it. That's no good for me as the bloke watching it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, you don't have to like it just because you know what it is.
Like I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But I just find it to be so dry watching him just go through the motions in matches. I just don't.
I think I agree with that, but I think Bandido did create enough motion.
Bandido's incredible. Yeah, I just at no point in this last few years have I watched an Okada match and been like, man, I found him really interesting or compelling in that match. I always go, oh, the dropkick's still pretty. His timing's still great. I completely accept he's still really good. I just don't enjoy watching him anymore. And, we're being goofy about it, but that's fine. I don't need to watch him, and I generally won't. Mm-hmm. But, I just wish there was more fucking energy to performance. I don't need he can be grumpy and kind of but some of his work is crazy looking, dude. Small stuff where he's just filling gaps in. He's so lackadaisical. I don't know. I just find it kind of baffling at times, to be completely honest with you. So I'm going to generally avoid the topic moving forward because I don't like to dwell on things I don't like. I find it to be kind of pathetic. But this is the whole point of the show is we watch it and we give our real opinion on it, right? Same Adonis did the last match. Personally, I don't particularly like watching him wrestle, and I thought this match was good, almost in spite of when he was in control of it. And let me be clear, when they go through the gears, his timing is immaculate, and he nails everything perfectly. He's very much like Randy in that way. He's too good for
I was going to mention Randy. Yeah. I was going to mention
It's
Randy.
easy for him. He can just go, I'm going to just turn it on now. He's great. He's incredibly talented. He's one of the most gifted wrestlers ever. You'll never hear me push back on any of that. I just don't necessarily like watching him wrestle right now. So that's just where I'm at. It's a good match, though.
Shout out Bandido. Maybe that's the point of this match. Shout out Bandido. Guy fucking
yeah. Oh, he's incredible, dude.
I like this guy.
He's incredible.
I think Okada's awesome.
Yeah, look, you guys are the consensus. He's one of the most celebrated wrestlers ever.
Well, hold on now. Wait.
He is. He's one of the most celebrated.
He
wrestlers ever.
is, but you say consensus. Hold on. If we're talking about historically, this might be a different conversation. But
Yeah, let's not get too crazy. We're talking in a vacuum with this Okada thing here.
We're talking
let me be clear.
isolation.
Let me be very, very clear. We've had fun with Randy Orton here. There are stretches where Randy Orton is one of the worst wrestlers.
Oh, he's offensive. He's
th-
offensive.
This is a stretch of Okada's career I don't like. There are many stretches of Randy Orton's career where he was like horrifically bad.
2013 Randy Orton.
Yeah, and before we even go any further with the Randy comparison, Okada's been way more prolific. I'm not saying Randy, but I don't give a fuck about that comparison. What I'm just saying is, in that one particular alleyway,
they're very
he's
similar.
like him because they both. It's too easy for them to just turn it on. That's all I was saying.
Can we finalize this with one question for you, Joe?
Yeah, please.
Rainmaker, RKO, which one are you taking?
They're both good finishes, but the RKO is a better finish, definitely. Yeah, because it's just easier and you can hit anything, you know.
Yeah,
Yours
But I do think Okada did he found a lot of creative ways to make the Rainmaker stick, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, there you go, folks. Dynamite in the books.
I'd like the fuse.
Bring the boom.
Novi was in attendance for our next match. DPW Super
Honma
Battle,
Nishi.
October 19th, 2025. This aired on the 26th, right?
Yeah.
A steel cage match for the DPW title. Adam Priest versus Jake something. This one actually got a lot of hype going into it, which to be honest is very rare now because more often with matches like this, you'll hear about them after the fact, right? And the match was really good or whatever the fuck. This actually had anticipation going in. People wanted to see this, and in its bubble, in its circle, it had a lot of excitement. Steel cage, obviously a big deal for DPW. Novi, you were there, so I wanted to go straight to you on this.
Yeah.
What did you make of this, mate?
I was very excited for this match. Obviously, I was there live. This was in Charlotte. This was about 20 minutes away from me, so pretty convenient as well. Usually I have to drive a couple hours to go see, so that's always a good time. The show beforehand, it was quite good. I had a really, really fun experience. This match I did in the building struggle with a tad because it did take a while for them to set up the cage. Of course it did. That's kind of what it is. So I think it kind of took the crowd and myself to get into it. I didn't even watch this. I'm just going off what I felt in the moment. This is obviously something that's been built up for a really long time. Priest has been champion for a really long time. Jake actually won this belt last year at the same show, Super Battle. But he had to relinquish it because he got hurt. And so he's kind of been working his way back this year. He's been working some tags. He's been building himself up. It was kind of his big moment once again to be crowned at the top of DPW. And it was a very satisfying match, I think. It was mainly focused around all right, Priest has nowhere to run. He's going to find little tricks here and there. He's going to work into it because he's a little fucking shit. He's going to find some way to get an upper hand from time to time. And there were some Trevor Lee shenanigans too. They've been buddies for a while in the promotion as a tag situation thing, which I thought it popped everyone in the building. But this was just Jake claiming the crown. Finally, someone's got their hands on Priest and he has nowhere to go. And I thought it was very satisfying for that reason. I think I really would have wished Priest, and I know this is kind of whatever. I wish he would have gotten a little more color. I think that would have been it would have added to the match a lot for him to have a lot more blood because he had been he's terrorizing this promotion for a really long time. I think it would have been even more satisfying to see him all bloodied up. Jake obviously looked like a fucking badass. He's just a grizzly man. At one point, I think after the match, he climbs to the top of the cage and celebrates. I don't know if that was caught, but it was holy fuck, that dude is large to be climbing that cage. But yeah, the work was really, really well done because these guys are both they're one of the top names of the indies. If you're looking about two guys who I think you should probably be paying attention to, these are two of them. So yeah, I was very satisfied following this match. It was nice to see Priest finally get that comeuppance and storyline. I think the match itself was just really well worked. It was smart.
Joe, real quick, I want to ask Novi a question.
Oh shit,
Novi, did you rewatch this match?
No, I said no. I'm not. No.
Okay, cool. Joe and Adonis, I don't know if you guys noticed this as well. And Novi, I don't think you're aware of this. This match ends. Jake something wins the belt. They pan to the crowd.
Oh yeah, I walk out.
The very first person you see in the crowd is Noviak.
Yeah, I had somewhere to be. I walked out.
I didn't
see
him.
It was in your face. It's you at the barricade clapping. It's immediately on you immediately.
That's
You were
good.
the
I'm glad
very
it caught
first-
that. I left really fast. So it was like I'm glad that I got shown.
Yeah, you're doing like a very like respectable like.
I was fucking tired. Bro. It's
Japanese
been a long
crowd.
show, man. Been a long show.
Did y'all not? Did neither? Of
I
y'all see
swear,
this
no, I
either?
didn't. No.
Oh my god! I made sure to watch the because I wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if they were going to show Nobi, and I popped and I
Celeb cam.
rewound it because I wanted to get it again.
Yeah. This also before like anyone continues, this isn't the only match of the show you should watch. You should watch Roddy and Eric Stevens. Also good match.
We're gonna do that as a. I wanted to wait until you were back, but then we should do it as like just a separate Discord party. We'll just watch that as a family. I think.
Very good match.
Like just that match, you know.
Very moving.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that. I'm saving it. Caden Lee,
Yes.
your thoughts.
I liked this match. I thought it was a nice little watch. It wasn't anything. I didn't find it to be anything crazy, but for an independent wrestling steel cage match, first off, my main thing was the cage looked really good. That's kind of hard for independent wrestling promotions to kind of get right. I think a lot of the cages look like shit half the time, and it looked really good. I like what they did here. Jake something immediately just using the cage was awesome. He basically just like beat the shit out of Adam Priest like almost anytime he was in control and just threw him all around. Priest taking the route of like not really using the cage much and just mainly working like it was a regular match, I thought was interesting. Because he's so much smaller than Jake something, I think it would have like like in theory, it makes sense that he's going to be the one to use the cage to his advantage to beat up Jake and kind of like try to throw him into the cage, bust him open a little bit. No, he for the most part just did his usual Adam Priest heel tactics, and he worked the left arm of Jake something. He used he did I believe it was a single leg crab at one point as well. Eventually Trevor Lee gets in there and he uses the chair shot. He gets that unprotected chair shot, which I did write down hashtag suck it liberals. Unprotected chair shots fucking rule.
Bro, I fucking popped out of my chair, dude.
Dude, I was so excited. I was pumping my fist.
godly.
I jumped up and down. Unprotected chair shots, always keep them around. They should never leave. We need more of them in professional wrestling. They're awesome.
Dark
the
woke.
refs, look, I don't care, man. They're awesome. They rule. The ref spot was a little cute. Wasn't necessarily for me, but like, I don't know. If I was a DPW fan, I'm sure I would like it a little bit more. And Priest, the ending, I love the finish because Priest does everything to try to get this win and cannot. And so he goes, fuck it, I'm just going to try to escape. And immediately just cannot do it. Gets caught for that crazy power bomb from the top rope. That like I also had to watch that again because that was insane. Yeah, good finish. I was a little worried that they were gonna do like because the Jake something took a second too long to took a little second too long to get into the pin, and I was a little worried that because he was taking for so long to get that pin that they were gonna give an excuse to do a kick out into one more move, and they didn't. And I was very happy they did not because that would have been some indie bullshit. It ruled. My last little note is in all caps. Oh my god, that's Noviak. Yeah.
That's what actually people were saying, broadly speaking, after the match.
Novi.
Yeah, they got really excited. They were like, "Wait, is that him in the crowd?" And like Jake saw me and he was like, "Yo, dude, you want to challenge for the belt?" And I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not trained."
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really crazy, man.
Sure.
Going to LA, bro. I'm gonna West Coast Pro. Adonis, do you like this professional wrestling match?
No, I love this match. Legitimately,
Oh,
this is
baby.
actually one of my favorite
Crisscross.
matches that we watched.
Wow.
This is like, I mean, this is like this actually might be my favorite match that like of the modern matches that we watched because obviously there's the anniversary one that's like a different thing, but I fucking love this match, and I love this match because it was simple. Because it was whatever. It was simple. Okay, this match was about one thing. This little fucker has been terrorizing the big fucker for over a year, and now he has no choice but to deal with this big fucker, throwing him around like the little fucker he is for 16 minutes. I thought that was awesome. Jake something has these clotheslines into the cage where Priest just like ricochets off the cage. Looks so sick. I think it's really cool to see. So this is what I always say. Cage matches succeed in one of two ways. Just in my personal opinion, obviously, I don't fucking know. To me, The best cage matches are either matches that feel like a genuine ugly fight where it's two people that just really don't like each other that have to lock themselves in some sort of area to beat the fuck out of each other, or it has to be an act of catharsis, which is why my favorite cage match of all time is Shawn and Taker from Bad Blood, because it's The Undertaker getting his revenge on Shawn Michaels for 30 minutes. And then obviously Shawn Michaels squeaks out at the end like a coward, because that's what happens. Obviously, to me, this isn't on the level of that, but on a much smaller scale, this succeeds because it takes the story that it's been building, and it's just, you get Jake Something being fucking awesome for 15 minutes while Adam Priest bumps his ass off. I think he's one of the best bumpers on the planet because he bumps in a way that is so sudden. Like when he gets hit, he just falls immediately and just starts cowering away. He is so terrified of Jake Something. And the only reason that he doesn't attempt to escape the cage more is because he has these loopholes, like the chair shot from Trevor Lee from outside the cage, like the low blows that he does, which Jake Something actually blocks at the end, which I thought was a very nice touch of progression, that when he goes for it again, Jake Something's like, no, dude, I got you. And to Caden's point on the finish, what I really like about the finish is it's not just that Priest escapes the cage because he's ran out of plays. When Jake Something catches him, Jake takes his fucking time because he knows I've got this guy. He's not going anywhere. He's not escaping this. And you can just see Priest's face immediately change. And he is just such a sniveling little prick. He is so terrified. It's as if his entire reign has just flashed before his eyes, and all of his sins have just like washed, like it all just hit him at once. Like, holy fuck, I spent a year terrorizing a guy that I can't match up to when it comes down to it. And he gives this awesome top rope powerbomb for the finish. I think this match is awesome. I adore it a lot. Legit, my only complaint is Novi's point that I wish Adam Priest bled more. But other than that, Jake Something looked like the coolest world beater on the planet. The chair shots were awesome. I thought this match just fucking fantastic. I like this a lot.
Well, Adonis, you and I have not agreed on everything tonight, but we are on the same page for this.
Yeah, let's go.
I was so happy with this match and like how direct it was with the story that Adonis laid out in terms of just like very simple. Nobody used the word satisfying. I really admire Adam Priest's commitment to this role. I love that he doesn't muddy the waters. I think there are a lot of wrestlers that would try and have their cake and eat it too, where they are the coward, but they also have like awesome epic moments where they kick out and do like, you know, these beast things. It's like, by contrast, he's just like a fucking loser this whole thing.
He's a geek.
And to Caden's point, I was, when he hit that fucking finish, I was like, please go home. Like, why would you? And they did, and I was like, fuck. It was nice to actually, because usually, let's be honest, guys.
He would kick out of that.
Yeah, usually when the thought goes through your mind of please don't kick out, they absolutely kick out.
Yeah.
This was, and like even, so I do wish the crowd was good, but you could tell like they were tired. They just saw a ladder match. They saw Roddy, and there was a gap between matches.
Yes.
It was a hefty gap too. It was like 25 minutes.
And even beyond that, no, but you can speak to this. Those crowds are great, but like, you know, it ain't a fucking territory crowd in 1987, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. It's
that crowd was actually unique too. Usually, like the DPW crowds that I'm in, it's just like a lot of people who go to every single show, like, and people in the town. They're like, all right, DPW's back. Let's go here. This was more so like people outside of that bubble. Like, there was a lot more like just casual Roddy, fans to see Roddy. I think because there was multiple people that were like there for Roddy. It felt like. So there's definitely like, it was a different kind of crowd. I think that also like
that would impact the heat for this.
Yeah, it did a little bit. You could like, when I was in the crowd, I could tell like, all right, they haven't been watching this because it felt more satisfying to the people I was in the row with, who I know go to every single show, that did the whole crowd.
That's my only, not even a criticism. My only note for the match is I wish it could have had like a time machine for the crowd, because the crowd was really good. Like, they liked the match and you could tell they got it, but it wasn't, you know, it was inevitably it inevitably comes off kind of, the heat kind of comes off performative a little bit, which is, that's not a reflection of Adam Priest, DPW, that's just wrestling. But like even the old school shit he did with like Trevor Lee coming out there to try and help, and all the baby faces shit at him, and like
they all grab his fucking limbs, they carry him out to the back.
Yeah,
dude, he's so awesome when he's getting carried. He's like flailing his arms, like, no, let me go. It's so sick,
bro.
Dude.
This was old school Southern pro wrestling. Bro.
Yes.
This was like, again, Novi's right. Actually, the one genuine criticism is Priest would have ideally got a little more juice.
Yeah.
A little bit of a little trickle job going on, which is a shame. But we don't have a when I do the timestamps, this will probably be the shortest segment because there actually isn't a lot to say about this because this match knew exactly where it wanted to be, and it communicated that in a very, very satisfying was the word fashion.
Yeah.
Adam Priest is the real deal. The real deal.
He's
Like,
serious, man. Even
He's
like in a
awesome.
match like this,
Yeah.
I think it's really hard, and I think we've detailed it a lot. Adam Priest is a small guy. He's bulky. He looks good, but he's a small guy. And so when you see him in a match like this, where Jake is fucking towering over him, because Jake is huge, and he just knows how to work it. He knows how to get his offense in. He doesn't try to do more than that, because I think a lot of people like ignore those factors. They don't let it play into their match. He never does.
He's
That's
self-aware, dude.
He is, and it's really great. And I want to we give a lot of love to Priest. I think Jake Something is really fucking good.
Yeah.
He's
he's
also
awesome.
a wrestler who knows exactly who he is. He's a fucking powerhouse. And there's a lot more matches in DPW I think people could look at. There's Tankman last year I thought was pretty good. He's been great in the tags this year as well. He's a guy who I think deserves a little bit more prominence than he actually gets. And I hope this run is a little more of what the last one was intended to be. Because he got hurt really fast, and that was really sad. So I hope they just load him up with challengers. I know he's got Kozone, I think, tomorrow or Sunday, which is that's a big DPW match. It's champion versus champion. So that's one I'd probably look at if you're I like this Jake Something performance. Look towards that, because I think that's also a place for you to celebrate him a little bit.
Yeah, I think Jake's really good, and I think it is important to note, we talked a lot about the kind of psychological elements of the match and the storytelling, chat, Bubba. But they also are two guys that, unlike some people, they lay their shit in and they were sound physically, which is, I think, going to be make or break for Priest, to be completely frank. I think Priest is going to be wrestling on TV soon, but if we're being completely real, it seems unlikely he's ever going to get the room to do,
This.
He's going to basically be a guy who has 10-minute matches and loses them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a very short guy, and he's not going to... I don't think, unfortunately, fair or unfair, I don't think he's going to be able to go beyond that level as a national TV star for the big two. But we'll see.
I don't disagree, and we've talked about this before, so I won't make it a big deal. I think he is smart enough to make it work, and I think a lot of people in wrestling, the more they see him, he's obviously got the Bryan Danielson love. I think the people in wrestling that could give him that spot, they notice he's just so intellectually sound when it comes to the game. I think he'll go far if the right people are in place.
It's imperative I stress why that's not a reflection of his limitations. I think people in wrestling are very he's slotted before he even. Yeah. I think you're spot on, Novi, but I also think he'll be slotted before he even fucking.
Yeah.
Even what he's doing now, if we're being honest, I thought him and Billington. Forget Billington, actually, because Billington's good, but Priest was amazing in those FTR matches. Yeah. And I haven't seen him on the telly since.
Yeah. Billington's got a ways to go.
I have to say this because you just brought it up, this idea of people in wrestling already slotting in. I actually think that speaks to this match in a way, because when we talk about the simplicity of the match, that's why a match like this stands out, because wrestling feels the need to try to be so many different things and eliminates the possibility for either the basics or something new. So a match like this that is so insistent on just sticking true to the core of what a story and a match like this is supposed to be, that's why it feels so much cooler. I just looked it up on Cage Match. This match clocks in at 16 minutes and 33 seconds. In most of especially in the big two, a cage match like this would get an extra 14, 15 minutes just because it's a cage match and it's for the world. But look at how much they accomplished by just having a cage match where the heel pays for being a heel. It's so fucking easy sometimes. I'm not here to say wrestling's easy, okay? Because I don't think it is. I've never put together a match. I don't fucking know. However, I do know this. There's a reason why, and this is not a used to be better thing, but it kind of is. There's a reason why things worked And there's a reason why wrestling is still around, because the things that they did 30 years ago can still work if you just give them the space to, which is why to Joe, to Novi, and even to Caden's point, like an Adam Priest type character can work on TV if you give him the space to be Adam Priest and not be guy number 27 on the roster that slots in an hour or two and gives you, which is fine. Okay, it's fine, but there is room for individuality in wrestling, and there is room for somebody like Adam Priest on a national stage. And I wish that wrestling was okay with giving guys and methods and moves and basics like that a chance on a grander stage. That's all.
I mean, the honest truth, genuinely, is ideally he would be in one of the surrounding TV promotions, and those promotions would be good if we're being real. I mean, that's the honest truth. Like, AEW's roster is really fucking big, dude. Like, it's just, it's difficult. But yeah, I mean, if we lived in a world where like TNA was really on the cutting edge and like, they could actually give him time to be Adam Priest, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, the funny thing is too, TNA has Jake something signed right
that
now.
one, I mean, that's
signed right now. They could book this match
right?
for their own. They could do it if they wanted to, and they don't. It's
Jake something has size too, so the way they use him is puzzling.
It's crazy. He's got size. He's physical, dude. I think he's really good at selling at his size too.
He's hot,
dude. Him and Leon Slater would have a sick match if you just fucking let them wrestle.
Yeah, that's true. Leon was also really sick on that DPW show as well.
He's fucking.
It was really awesome to see him.
Did you see his Twitter promo to Hell Angels? That popped me huge. That was so fucking funny. He did a thing where he was promoting his match, and he just goes, "All right, Mon, I'm not gonna do the percent, but he's like, it's a full moon, and GTA 6 just got delayed. You caught me at a bad time." And he called down, and he's like, "Don't chat me, dickhead," and just ended the promo.
Oh,
he's
bro,
like,
that's godly.
He was like, "Bro, you're talking to me about a match. I beat you in my debut when I was 17. What the fuck are we talking about?" And I was like, "That's so godly."
Bro, he's so
that
beast.
dude, bro, he gets it, dude. That guy's a fucking star.
He speaks to the youth.
Speaking of stars, Shinya Aoki steps forward for our next contest. October 14th, DDP Super Japan Pro Wrestling. Come again. That's the name of this show. DDP
Come again?
Super Japan Pro Wrestling. Come again.
Yeah. That was what I said to Joe whenever I found
what
out.
What if we already came?
Whoa. Caden Lee just went in a direction. I'm not sure he's even aware where he went there. Okay. Shinya Aoki, Yuji Nagata. This is a match that I picked. Okay, I'm going to be completely transparent. Yuji Nagata is the man. I love him. Shinya Aoki, I was a huge mark for before I even liked pro wrestling, really, when I was an MMA pervert. I love Shinya Aoki. He once broke a man's arm and like stood up and flipped them off after a real fight, which is the most pro wrestling I've ever seen. I didn't look at the runtime on this because it was Yuji Nagata at 57 wrestling Shinya Aoki, who does like shoot style because he's an MMA guy. And I presumed it would be a tight 12 or so. And I was watching it. I was like, it's been going on for a while. They go 30 minutes here. And all I could think was, I just started grinning from ear to ear and was like, oh my God, Caden Lee is going to watch this match. Like, full cock in hand situation for me. Just the idea of Caden Lee watching Shinya Aoki just torture poor Yuji on the mat for 15 minutes of the first half of this half an hour affair. But I have a lot of good things to say about this match. I like this match quite a bit. Caden Lee, I suspect you're not so sure.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare.
I liked the ending specifically because I thought they shot it very well. And the lighting with they're slapping the shit out of each other to end this match. And there's sweat flying off of them and it's sick. And there's no commentary. So it's kind of like that was cool. And for the first like few minutes, I was like, okay, I can dig this. And then it kept going and nothing really changed and longer. And they leave the ring and they go to the crowd and brawl for a second. And then they come back in. They kept going. And I'm like, okay, there's some forearms. And then just kind of like kept going. And I kept going. And then they got slaps. And then it's over. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't really like it. Wasn't for me. I did watch the entire thing. It was a match that I saw. I did tell the Guns.
How did it end?
How did it end? Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Wow. If Colt's in the chat right now, you'll find Caden Lee.
Yeah, I know. Fine. I didn't look. I watched it. I tried taking notes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't know I watched Jumanji Hunter. I watched this match. I
can tell you why you describe it. You watched it. You just
I watched this match.
Okay, the reason he forgot why it ended because it didn't have.
It just
didn't
ends
do like an epic.
It literally, the bell just rings.
They're just trading strikes and the bell rings.
Yeah, it's just a fucking ending.
These two dudes are too real to do some fucking glossy.
Was it the slapping part where it ended, or like did they out of that part by then?
I think they're doing 4.
I remember the slapping. I think they might be in 4 because that was what I specifically like that part of
the bell rings and they both stagger back to the ropes. Oh, it was fucking some real shit, dude. You need to see Shinya, Aoki and there would go Shiozaki. Adonis, this seemed like something you would like a lot more than Caden Lee.
Folks, don't listen to this woke bullshit. This is pro fucking wrestling, folks. It's 2 old fucks in a fucking damn near empty room. And you know what they're doing? They're doing their best Ken Shamrock, Owen Hart in the basement impersonation. There's an early sequence where Nagata's fighting to avoid a crucifix pin. He's staying planted, trying to push his bigger frame on Aoki, blocks it completely. It's sick as fuck, okay? The first 5-10 minutes, these guys are constantly going for pins. It fucking rules because the point is you're trying to win a goddamn wrestling match here, folks. You know what this is? This is dudes rock. These guys, should they be in a wrestling ring at 57? I don't know how old Shinya is. Do you know, Joe, how old he is?
He's not. He's like 42, 43 probably.
All right. Well, whatever. There may be a point where you go, you might not want to be in a wrestling ring. Fuck that, okay? Fuck that shit. This was sick. Kaden mentioned
furiously punching your desk. Please calm down with the desk, please.
Listen, there was sweat flying off. There was 2 old men who looked incredibly tired by minute 7. They went another 23. And then, like Joe said, they slapped each other and the bell rang, and they both walked away like they were boxers who had just reached the judges' scorecards. And I thought, that was manly. That's what I thought. That's literally my last note. I said, this is manly.
It was.
It's just manly, folks.
This Hungry Man Graps, Adonis?
Yeah.
This is Hungry Man Graps. That's a fast
TV dinner, TV tray.
You know what? No, you know what this is? This is like
Jeopardy.
No. You know what this is like? This is like when you get home and you have like a rocking chair on your porch and you're just like looking out as like the 3 cars pass by in the night and you're just having a cup of like tea or something and you're just watching the winds of the night go by. That's what this match is like.
And the winds of the night are the echoes of the crowd. You see a vision of Yuji Nagata flashing across the sky.
Well, no, not that vision. But you see a vision of 2 old men at a Walmart parking lot fighting over the last loaf of bread. That's what you see. This is what this was like. It's like watching an old man yelling at his phone because he doesn't know how FaceTime works. And he refuses to hang up the call. And he's just going to keep going. And you look at the call log and it says 45:27. And you go, this is entirely too long. This makes absolutely no sense. It's godly, folks.
Bro,
this match was awesome.
This is a match for the kind of people who have their text. The size is heightened. Everything is too big for the phone screen. And you're still watching.
Yeah, it's actually, I know that's so fucking accurate. That is so fucking accurate.
It's so sick.
This match was very beast. It has to be stressed. Like, it is uncomfortably quiet in the building as the fellas are grappling. Like, to the point where, like, they're not even really verbally selling. Yuji will just kind of, like, a couple of times just goes, ugh. And, like, you hear it, like, fucking like a gunshot, bro. Like, there's no sound. It's so quiet, dude.
No, it genuinely, it reminded me of the, when WWE first started running the Performance Center during COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just completely empty.
People are sitting there, and let me be clear, the people that are there like the match. It's just, if you go to this show, you know what you're like,
They're respectful, Joe. Respectful. That's what it was.
But the thing is, in this case, that actually is true, because like, this audience clearly just wanted to like see Shinya, Aoki and Yuji Nagata grapple, and they just grapple, and he just like tortures Nagata for the first half, his legs in particular, and like, Yuji just spends like at least 10 minutes. He's lying there just going, just just in agony.
Legitimately.
It's
shoot
popping
pain,
me.
probably.
So it's popping me huge. There's a moment in the match, probably the highlight of the match for me. They go out to the outside, and like I thought they were gonna just do some walk and brawl bullshit. I was thinking Shinya doesn't really do that kind of thing usually, and then I realized why they did it. He Irish whips Yuji, and because Yuji's legs are fucked, like he just keeps running. Like did you see this? Like he Irish
just
whips
kept
him,
going.
and Yuji just doesn't turn anything. He just runs into the wall like a video game glitch. That was fucking awesome. I will say we mentioned earlier about Goto. Yuji is 57, so this is not a slight. That is insane. He's this good at 57. When he's in control, his offense has definitely got to a point of like we're close to the point of no return with poor Yuji. Like his stuff looks kind of crazy. But he's 57, bro.
Bro, it's fucking Blue Justice. Shut the
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
up.
It's 57. I agree. I
you're
take
being
that.
kinda woke,
accept
I
it.
will say, Joe.
Bro, you didn't even watch the match. Shut the fuck up. So
No, I'm not. I am not letting you use that against
Burial
me. 'Cause I
count.
definitely
the
did shit.
joke was
I don't-
that I accepted Novi's insult and he actually didn't watch the match, and then I just wanted to see this is the no
Don't-
psychology.
Don't care. I'm
don't care.
midnight.
Don't care.
Don't
Don't give a
Um,
fuck. It's late. I don't care. I'm sleepy. I
There's a
don't care.
cool
I'm
moment-
sleepy in my bed. I have my hat on and my nightgown.
There's a cool moment where
I think
Aoki draws Yuji into a strike exchange and it catches the leg and is a real smug prick about it.
Yes.
The figure 4 section that goes an hour or two is godly. Obviously,
They
the
slap
match is
each other in there. Right?
yeah. They slap.
too.
The match is obviously way too long, but like, here's the thing: the match is way too long because this style only has so many different variations. Like, it's pretty. But in a strange way, this is not going to make any sense. But I think Adonis will get it because I think this spoke to him in the similar way it did to me, maybe more so to him even. The length of the match is absolutely to the detriment of its quality, but it does give it like a particular personality where. Like, this is a pretty serious shift in it, especially for Yuji. Like, by the end of it, you can't help but kind of be like, God bless him, bro. I mean, he looks in agony, and he's just toughing it out there, isn't he?
There's like a weird like authenticity to it where like it almost is like this match had to go 30 minutes in a way. Like it's so bizarre. Like, obviously, this match should not be half an hour. Okay, I like this match a lot, evidently, but like obviously. These two guys should not be going 30 fucking minutes in 2025, approaching 2026. But like, it's one of those things where like, I just wouldn't want it any other way, man. Like, of course, when I loaded up the video and I saw 30 something minutes, I was like, well, fuck yeah. You know, because by the end, they're doing the figure 4 exchange that Joe says goes like 17 hours or the length of Breaking Bad. And like, you just sitting there and you go, Nagata's just yelling in agony and you're like, oh, that's shoot. He's like fucked. Yeah. But in like, a weird way, it's like,
yeah, Carol.
No, it's just like in a weird way, like that's Shinya's offense. Like that shit looks like it hurts.
Yeah, so, he like tortures guys, right?
Yes, he's like writhing in pain because A, he's old as fuck, and B, Shinya's stuff just really hurts. It's one of the genuinely, if I could, I'm gonna like de-animate myself because this is actually a little insane. I don't actually, but like one of the things with this match is it's just very honest by the end. Like,
I agree.
Yuji's so slow by the end. Like, he's slow in general, but in the end, he like legitimately looks immobile by the end. But it's all, but like,
I promise his based. I promise.
No. Guys, I swear to God. You know what it is? So when they do the ending striking exchange,
not bees.
When they do the ending, Kaden, you watch wrestling matches with Subway service at the bottom. All right, enough. There's a thing where. When they're walking to do the final slappy exchange, Nagata legitimately is like limping with both legs, which I didn't even know you could do simultaneously, like limp with both legs. But in a way, it kind of feels like it's like, all right, dude, you're gonna put me out to pasture, but I'm not gonna let you do it quiet. Like, I'm gonna try to kill you before you kill me, even though I have no chance of survival. Yeah. And then the match ends and they both survive. It's just very honest. I don't know. And the fact that the crowd doesn't
work both legs too. He does.
Yes, he does.
Like, at one point, they were laying down, and Shinya Aoki is just, like, grabbing his legs and just, like, twisting him, and Yuji's just like,
Yuji's like, come on, bro.
God. Like, they do it, like, for an extended period of this, and the crowd's just sitting there, like...
They're, like, silently... It's like, they're like the Swerve picture in real life. They're just, like, in approval. They're like...
See, I think, like, Major League Puro is actually like shit at this point. The one thing that's still awesome about the Japanese scene is that shows like this exist, and it's like this show is not trying to con anyone, bro. Like this, if you go to this show, you know exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I think that's also that's why I'm not a big Bloodsport guy, but I always like hope it does well because it's basically the only thing in the States like that, right? Where it's like this is the style we do here. In America, every promotion is a buffet. Every promotion, we do a little bit of everything, and it's like this is they wrestle for 30 minutes, and the matches there's like 5 matches on the whole card, like godly.
All right. Time.
Glad Adonis liked it.
Yeah.
Shinya Aoki, the big man.
I'm so
love
glad
it.
you made me watch this.
Shout out Yuji.
I didn't watch it. I loved it.
Yeah.
God bless.
Folks, we're about to talk about our final modern match here. Please do the Bob O'Neill, the smashing of the like button and such before we get to it. WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Scratch that. WWE Tag Team titles. Fuck it. These
Yeah,
other
what the
belts
fuck?
don't mean shit, bro.
None of the
These are
belts. on
tag
this
straps,
promotion.
bro. These are the
Come
ones that
on,
Arn and
dude.
Tully had,
Fuck
Let's do
yeah.
this, guys.
Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. World's Tag Team titles on the line. Raw main event from October 27th. Much to say about this one. Much to say. Novi, take it away.
I'm hearing reports. I've heard reports throughout the last few weeks, ever since this dropped, that this is the most professional wrestling match that's ever been professional wrestled. Yeah, the spirit, the effort on display was fucking awesome. It was like really highlighted by just like the way that this was formatted. Like the flow from spot to spot was so seamless. Like the transitions were really smooth. Of course, that's benefited by all 4 of these women like killing it, like Alexa Bliss doing her fucking thing. She takes that shotgun dropkick shit seriously, dog. She goes down
She
hard
does.
on the mat, dog. It's crazy. Lyra fits in like a glove with these fucking veterans. She is balling. She's hooping. And then like, oh, I want to mention too for Lyra, she does this like leg drop from the top. Oh my God. That's nuts, dude. From the top like that. She went down super hard. Great bump on that too. But I think the highlight of the match, I don't know if I'll be alone in this. Charlotte and Bayley trading blows,
At the
center
end.
ring.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
baby.
one when Bayley like meets her head on with a Fez press. That
Yes.
One,
Oh, bro. And they went down super hard. They went down super quick. Like there was some intensity there. Bro, it's like the years haven't come and gone. Like it's just like they're back. I thought that was so awesome. That transitions to like the sick finishing sequence. Like it was very perfectly timed the way they did the synchronized natural selection. But you talked about it earlier on in the show. They have like a wardrobe malfunction where Lyra's hair gets caught in Alexa's jacket, and they kind of have to like she has to roll out of the ring, and Bayley has to go help her, but it doesn't like take away from it at all. Like
no, they fought really quickly on that. I thought really handled it well. Yeah.
very resilient on that. Like that could have caused everything to go awry, and yet all of the women that were trying to like help figure that out, it was easy for them. It's like they just knew what to do, and they knew how to like come back on it, get the crowd back up afterwards, because you have to like 3 of them were physically out of the ring at one point, and it didn't take away from it, which is like really kind of like inspiring in a way. Like that's awesome that they're able to do that, and it's just a really breezy watch, a lot of effort on display. And I don't want to like get too far in without asking Joe one very key crucial question that I think deserves.
I love key crucial questions.
It deserves an answer now.
Yeah.
Recently on a show that was very long, but that I did watch, you accused my good friend, close personal friend, Ibu, very close personal friend. We talk all the time. That his team that he proposed, this Bayley and Lyra Valkyria squad, was not real.
Yeah. True.
Do you still
Excellent
believe
point.
that?
So a couple of things have happened since then. Firstly, he paid me, which changed my viewpoint slightly. But moreover, now that I've seen them in there with a couple of veterans who know what they're doing, I'm more confident they're a real team. But they needed to see them there with some, because I need to see them when there's some pros that can lead them. So that was important. But I think they're a real team. Jokes aside, that show obviously was heinous. Both Lyra and Bayley are so awesome, dude. I mean, I'll talk about more in a moment, but yeah, they're a real team, Novi. All clear.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I just need to clarify that. Like I watched them, and I said that looks pretty real to me, but I'd understand maybe someone having some faults. So
That
I
looks
just want
pretty real to me.
it's just Clarifying. No worries. No worries. Yeah,
I mean,
great
they're
match.
definitely going to split up next week or whatever, but they're still awesome team for now. So,
Well, is she still hearing voices in her head? Is that still happening?
I think
No.
they've tamed that.
No,
yeah.
she's not.
She's not anymore?
Yeah.
No.
She does have the moment in this match where she like gets real mad.
She gets
but
like
it's
hulked up. Yeah.
It's pretty tame, though, isn't it? Really.
I didn't even notice. That's kind of awesome.
We know the bit when she gets back on the apron and she's like, "Tag me now!" And
Yeah.
She's like very
Oh,
aggressively
yeah.
yelling.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's kind of
Joe
beast.
Tess
I
mentions
kind
it
of
on
like that.
commentary.
yeah.
I'm kind of a fan of it.
Adonis, what do you think?
So there's a few people in the chat that have been very scared for our opinions of this match, and I'm here to temper everybody because I really like this match. On November 18th, 2015, Bayley defeated Alexa Bliss in 9 minutes and 32 seconds in an NXT Women's Championship match. These two ladies wrestled in the main event of Monday Night Raw on Netflix 10 years later, which I think is fucking awesome because it speaks to the fact that despite the fact that this industry continues to try to slight these people, they're still going. And Bayley, especially, I have to say, for somebody who, had a really gruesome knee injury and for somebody that was getting written off a lot, she has quietly been one of the anchors of this company all year. She has been absolutely stellar in this run and in this match specifically. I thought she was awesome. I thought it was really cool how evident it was that Charlotte looked like she was enjoying wrestling in this match. When her and Lyra begin to mix it up at the beginning and they're doing the hold exchanges, you can literally see her shoot smile. It's really cool. Charlotte historically, I mean, I think she's good, but she's never been one of my favorites. But to see her rejuvenated in this run, I genuinely, and this is not a joke because I'm on the Grin, I actually legitimately believe that bless you, Cannon. That's Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are one of the best acts in this company all year, despite the fact that this company has continuously tried to cut its legs from underneath them. I think that they have been such a refreshing thing because you don't often see veterans in this role. And what I mean is that, Joe, I think you tweeted this when they wrestled Zaruka. They have genuine hot tags, which I know to some people feels like a moot point, but legitimately, right? You get because here's the cool thing about the Alexa Charlotte pairing. Alexa's really tiny. Charlotte is really tall in comparison. So you get to have these two really cool, interesting ways of building to a tag, right? Where if you're getting the heat on Alexa, when Charlotte comes in, she can be this athletic freak who's super tall and towers over everybody and overwhelms everybody. And when you're building to the hot tag of Alexa, Alexa is just this house on fire. She's just going crazy. She's running wild. And they get to both of those effectively in this match. They go through breaks.
Yes.
Lyra, I think, has been one of the most consistent wrestlers probably in America this year, to be quite honest with you. I think the closing stretch, I thought the double natural selection type thing was really cute. I thought that was really, really fun. I'll always get really emotional when the Fireflies show up in Bliss matches. I will never not pop at how long the setup to the DDT is. I think that that's really awesome. Alexa's refusal to look at the hard camera is absolutely incredible. Continue to do it, Lexi. You're fucking killing the game. I just think it's really, this match, like Novi said, is just super professional. It's super direct, and it's such a proper tag team match. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I just think when I envision what a tag team match should be, this is the formula. You get to, everybody gets their spot to shine. You get to the hot tags. The crowd was really into it, which in these types of matches, it always gets them a little bit, but it speaks to, for whatever people want to say about her, Alexa Bliss is over as fuck. Okay. People for some reason don't want to admit this. I don't really know why. She's over as fuck. Okay. And Charlotte and Bayley have pedigree, so they're always going to be seen as stars, but Charlotte's been rehabbed for sure. Lyra, I think, is more over than people kind of give her credit for.
I agree, actually.
And so I think the people stick with it the entire time. Woo, they do the woo, they do everything. I think people stick with it. I think that the closing stretch is incredibly electric, especially with, I actually want to point to the camera work because I think the camera work does a really good job of keeping the breakups hidden. Like when there's one late breakup where Bayley comes from the side ring post area and she just barely makes it, but you never see her in frame until she breaks it up, which I think is really cool. I like this match a lot. I'll give it away now. If we do rankings, this actually would probably be in my 3 favorites that we watched. Yeah. I really like this. And I think the women's tag matches on TV, which I guess you could just say for every women's match on WWE TV this year,
are quietly and easily the best things going. I thought this match was really lovely.
You mentioned the hot tag things. I want to quickly elaborate on this because, unfortunately, my talking point was stolen by Jimmy Corderas, which didn't really do me any favors. But
Okay.
the hot tag, this is actually something you see a lot on wrestling TV. The hot tag generally nowadays is done off a double down. So they do a double down, both heel and babyface sell, both crawl to the opposing corner's tag. That's become the norm. The way the hot tag originally was intended to function, and that's not mean that's wrong, that's just the way it's been done. But the way it's, to me, is better is when the heels throw like multiple hurdles in front of them. And the babyface has to get, overcome it every time. So that's something they do in these matches a lot. And Corderas, hilariously, which is fucking, of course it would be Jimmy Corderas when I have a talking point. He quote tweeted one of the clips of their matches and was like, an actual hot tag. Whoever's agent in their matches deserves raise. And I was like, fuck, why do I have to be on the same page as Jimmy Corderas? But he's right. He was correct about that. So, it is what it is. Caden Lee, did you like this match?
Joe, look, when I heard you raving about this match, I was intrigued.
You thought I was doing a bit. Right? You thought I was doing a bit, for sure.
I thought you were doing a bit. When I saw Dave's stuff, I was also a little. I was like,
well, hold on.
When I saw Dave's rating,
What the hell, dude?
I was like, I was
what the
when
fuck?
I saw Dave's ratings, I then got scared and went, oh no, I'm scared I'm not going to end up liking this as much as everybody else. This fucking ruled. I loved this a lot. This was awesome. I don't have much to say because I think Novi, Joe, and Adonis did a lot here to cover everything. Honestly, I think they took almost all of my notes as well. But some quick ones that I did have written down. I thought okay. What did I say?
Stole your notes, idiot. Fuck you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair. I thought Charlotte. This was my first time watching Charlotte. I haven't watched WWE in a while. So, especially like Charlotte and Alexa, like I haven't really seen any. I think I've seen maybe one of their tag matches, but Charlotte was moving with a confidence that was like very refreshing, especially on television, because in the last few years she turns it up for the pay-per-views, but on TV it was kind of like, okay, well, like typically it was like I didn't really watch because she was gonna kind of just like, she's Charlotte. It's kind of like what Joe mentioned with Okada, where like she is so good where she doesn't really need to do a lot in order to like have a good match. And so whenever she was on TV, the matches weren't really doing much for me, but she looks like she's having fun. She just has a little swagger to her, a little bit of an aura again. And it's awesome. Like she's always had aura, but it's like, there's like a more like natural, like when someone's having a good time and you can tell that they're having a good time, like it adds something to it. And I noticed that a lot with Charlotte in this specifically. I thought her work with Lyra was very good. They looked very natural together. Have they had a singles match yet, Joe?
No. This was the first time they've locked up at all.
Okay,
first
awesome.
time.
Yeah. I'm excited. I need to see that singles match because I loved every little bit of them in the ring together. It was awesome. I thought there was good teamwork here between Bayley and Lyra. That's a team that I hope they keep together because they're good together. If you're not going to do like at least for a few months, if you're not going to do anything substantial with Lyra and singles, keep them together for a while. Don't do any turns of War Games bullshit there. There was a good hot tag that y'all talked about where Bayley just immediately pounced on Charlotte. The slugfest at the end between Bayley and Charlotte was awesome. Yeah, Novi mentioned Lyra's leg drop. That made me audibly like. I was in my break room watching this. I had to like control myself from screeching like Novi did during the Goto Takeshita match. Yeah. There's the Sister Abigail pop that I saw Joe had posted when the match happened. That was awesome. I also popped as well, especially like the way she holds it for so long and does the aura farming.
She does it every week. It's
never looks at the hard cam while doing it.
She's so awesome. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. I expected because people were saying it was good. I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna at least like somewhat like this. At the very least, like I'll find it enjoyable. Oh god, I loved this match so much. This was awesome.
Caden Lee sent a group chat text about this. He was like, hold on, guys.
Yeah.
I think it's like, oh my
There's
god.
something to this.
Yeah.
We got one here, boys.
I really like whenever we like do one of these shows, Caden like talks about how people talk about a match. He's like, okay, I'll probably like it because people are talking about it this way. I always find that really fun. Like, oh, I wasn't sure I'd like it, but then I heard the way people were talking about it. I'd probably like it a little bit.
You know
I'm
the
sure.
scary part? I kind of get it, which is the
And
way,
I
like,
do, and that is the
Yeah,
thing.
it's
I
weird.
understand him.
It's a
I get
weird,
it.
like,
It's
mental
not,
thing.
you know, sometimes like you're not watching the TV and a particular brand of account will be like, oh, that was a banger. You go, yeah, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, there's like somebody told me the fucking JD McDonough Sheamus match. I was like, I love Sheamus. I don't believe
Yeah.
you, but I
I think that
Sheamus.
was sincerely good, sadly. But
Maybe.
it's like when that guy that
Maybe
does
it
like the magazine or whatever, or I think they call it like an observer or whatever, like a newsletter. He does these things where he like gives matches 4 stars. I'm like, it's probably all right. I don't trust him anymore.
Joe, can we retell the story of the original plan if the ratings had stuck and he didn't cave? The original plan.
we did follow up on it. We announced that we were close. We were going to do a Dave tribute show, right? We did.
Yes.
We did follow up. On it.
Fucking what?
No, never mind. So a couple of things on this to add. So Bayley is quietly the kind of secret sauce here, is often the case, because Bayley leans heel. Very subtle little lean heel, and that gives the match some shape, because one of the things about this match, it feels like they do a lot, but if you actually think about it, they really just pack a lot in that final 3-4 minutes before they just do a normal tag match. And that's why that back end stuff pops the way it does, because they just have a very patient match before. Bayley's the one who allows them to do that. In the same vein, Lyra's physicality is really important, because she's the fresh party here, and she's able to give this a little bit more crunch than would be there otherwise, if we're being completely honest, and that's fine. In that department, this is a weird thing that's happening with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is, to be completely honest, increasingly imperfect in terms of physicality. Her stuff is like, she clearly struggling with the knee is a real situation for her. The brace is, very, very large. She's slowed down, and that's okay. But in a weird way, that's like kind of made her like more watchable and charming. It's strange. Like, she's more human as a result of this whole act. It's very, very odd. Her work is honestly a lot looser, but like, you like watching her wrestle more, and she feels like she's having fun, as Caden said. So yeah, there's that. Alexa's really good babyface, and Peril has been for a long time now. And there's just, it's a hoot. It's like 14 minutes long, and it's a hell of a time. Flies by. Woo. They build to the big finish. They do a really cute blind tag spot late into the Sister Abigail thing.
Yes.
Really, really good match. Really, really good. Probably Alexa's best wrestling match, right? Like,
yes. Yeah, she's balling.
I think.
Yeah. She's been very steady. I also do have to mention that one of the cool things about this to me is when you mention Lyra, I think it's very important that because Bayley, Charlotte, and Alexa are like established presences on the TV. So I think it's very important that you have a fourth person that can like hold her own and not feel like she's just like a slot holder. Yeah. Lyra legitimately feels like she is vital to the fabric of the match, or the match doesn't work. Like you said, to her physicality, she brings something new that Charlotte and Alexa have to sort of figure out, because they're very familiar with Bayley. They have to sort of, Charlotte with her injury and things like that has to kind of figure out how to work around the fact that she can't really go strike for strike with Lyra or slam for slam because of how the knee gives out. And Alexa, obviously, with the size discrepancy, can't really do that either. So it presents a really interesting challenge where whenever Lyra's in control, it's almost like it's a puzzle that Alexa and Charlotte have to figure out, which I think makes it a contrast to when they can just straight up fight Bayley because they know Bayley and they know what she's going for. So I think it's really cool. It's like 2 matches in one, but they all gel together, every moving part, I think.
It popped me that it popped me how like game they were, like Charlotte and Alexa to play Lyra music. Like, Lyra just beats the fuck out.
They just let Lyra do shit. It was so cool.
I think nobody said about the drop kick, like just fucking kills her with this drop kick, dude. It's like, yeah, man, let's do it. Caden Lee, if you're wondering why I started laughing a minute ago, Caden Lee put in the private chat is aggressive tonight, and he's not wrong. It's been an aggressive chat night, guys.
Very
Take
aggressive.
It easy, man. Take it easy, man.
I feel like that maybe played a role in that.
I think we all did. We've all been aggressive tonight.
We've all had our moment.
We've all had our
Lee.
moment.
I'll tell you.
What did I do?
I'll tell you who's aggressive.
You've been steady.
Honma and Ishii were aggressive 10 years ago.
Oh,
November 7th,
Here we go.
2015, Power Struggle. I was watching this in real time. Machine Gun Carl Anderson on top, working Shinsuke Nakamura. This is the night where in the post-match, AJ like grabs the belt and goes face-to-face with Shin to set up their Wrestle Kingdom match, which was like a really big happening at the time. These two had an astonishing match at that year's New Beginning, their best match together, I think. I still feel pretty confident in that. I think Buster's in the same wavelength. They then met again in the G1. Honma was on a losing streak in the G1 to that point and broke that losing streak opposite Ishii at Korakuen Hall, setting up this rubber match for the never open weight title. Honma here at pretty much the height of his run as the sort of perpetual underdog of New Japan Pro Wrestling, opposite a guy who, in fairness, is very much an underdog in his own right in terms of his career story, but in this particular dynamic gets to be a real fucking bully, does Tomohiro Ishii. Caden Lee, had you ever seen this before, and what did you think of it?
I had not. This is the first time I've seen Honma with not in one of the old man 6-man or 8-man tags. This was awesome. Y'all know, like, I'm a big fan of Tomohiro Ishii. I love watching him wrestle. Does not matter when, where, what company. I just like watching him wrestle. And this was quite sexy, to be honest. Honma, so some notes I have is that, so they started fast and then they kind of like, Ishii takes control, like Joe mentioned. Ishii kind of bullies him for a lot of this. And the amount of times that Honma goes for this damn headbutt, popped every single time he goes for it, pops.
The Kokeshi?
Every single time. What?
The Kokeshi headbutt?
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
The Kokeshi headbutt? Awesome. Every single time I giggled. Just the way he does it is so funny. I don't know why I find it really funny. It just makes me giggle. Because
the way he sets it up.
Yes. And so like he does it every once in a while to start, and then towards the end, my specific note was he's throwing headbutts around like the Bucks using super kicks. He just starts fucking launching this shit and spamming it. And it's awesome. Every time it pops me. It rules. Ishii takes a brain buster at one point. He stumbles up, and then he does his own headbutt, which I think is the only headbutt that he specifically throws, besides, because they do the spot where they're both on the ground and they're headbutting each other. But besides that, Ishii throws a single headbutt in this match. It's there. It takes them both out. And Ishii is so good at doing that staggered sell, where it's like, it's not necessarily, it's fighting spirit to an extent, but he still looks like he's dead.
Yeah, it's still supposed to sell. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. But like so many people don't even sell it. Like
they just stand
They
up.
just do the spirit and then they sell later. He
just
does
roar.
it while also selling. But like the way he does it and the way he staggers his body is so amazing, because it looks like he's like almost knocked out, but he's like barely clinging on to life. And he's one of the most underrated sellers, I believe, in all of professional wrestling. He's awesome. The crowd in this, fantastic. They were wild for Honma throughout everything. At one point he goes for one of the headbutts towards the end. Ishii just slaps him midair. Popped me immensely. Yeah, this was awesome. I thought this ruled. Very happy that we watched it. It wasn't super long either. It landed on everything I wanted this to be.
You need to watch the first one, Caden.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's now added to my list of like, I need to watch that.
Yeah. Because I'm aware, like, a lot of the New Japan fans, they only know Honma as like the old man, as you said.
Yeah, that's why I knew him.
Yeah, he's incredible in 2015. Novi, what did you think?
Caden in his description described this match as sexy. It's not sexy. They're just fucking. They're not doing anything. They're not doing any of that pre-business. They're not setting it up. They're not fucking eating the box. They're just fucking hitting at it. That's all they're doing. It's two fucking big lads just hitting each other really fucking hard, dude. That's awesome. And I low-key, like, there was a moment in this match where, like, I'm just gonna point it out now. There's a when Ishii takes the brainbuster, I immediately went into the bit where it was like, oh bro, you can't do that damn, bro, he has no neck. But I was like, okay, wait, he's gonna sell it this time because it's like 2015. It's like really cool still. That's like awesome. I thought that moment was particularly memorable. I'm glad Caden highlighted it, but man, what an electric energy this crowd has, and like Honma, to his credit, like he's just infectious whenever he's in the ring. Like obviously, Joe, if you don't mind, can you please tell me the name of the move that he's doing?
The Kokeshi headbutt.
The Kokeshi headbutt, which I described as a torpedo headbutt, which feels pretty accurate too, where he just kind of flings himself out and spins, which is kind of beast. He just does it over and over again, because that's what he does, because he doesn't give a fuck. He's sacrificing his brain for the love of the crowd, for the love of the people, for 2015. And that's the spirit of everything that New Japan should be, in my eyes. I'm glad I like saved this till later, because I would have been really mad watching the other one. Because I just would have been like, damn, the crowd was really hot for that one, huh? But this is a good like closer, I think. It was around that time. It's a brand of offense you just don't see with like the Honma's specific stuff, and like a lot of their interactions between Honma and Ishii. And it was like, it wasn't like being used all the time, all over the world, like in every single match at this point. So it like stood out clearly to the people, and it stood out to me just by their reactions to it. So it's hard not to get swept in the energy of this match. This one's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and in fairness, someone has to say it. I'll be the one that just, we'll love the match. But, like, there's also elements to this that are understandably not being recreated often because, fuck, man. Some of the headbutts are like,
Yeah.
It's a little much, but, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a police officer, so it's none of my business. But I can see why guys aren't doing it, like, often, I will say, Ishii's still really good, but, like, sometimes you forget how blokes used to move.
Oh, bro. That was one thing I realized, like, damn, it really has been 10 years, huh?
Yeah, because he looks pretty much the same, so you don't really notice it until you see him, like, run the ropes. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, he does it then, so he's nearly 40 then.
He does, like, a leaping spinning kick at one point, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a more technical name for that, but like he does that, and I'm like, holy shit!
And his stuff just has so much more like crunch to it, right? Like it's just I didn't honestly only start to me watching this. Adonis, had you seen this before?
Yes, I actually didn't realize I had seen it until I loaded it up, and I was like, wait a minute, me and a buddy of mine watched this, and I hold the opinion I had when I watched it the first time. This match fucking rules. So I have to just know, because I don't think anybody's noted it. Ishii locks in a Boston Crab where I swear to God, I thought he was going to break this guy's fucking
bro,
kneecap.
he wrenched it back like fully. Oh my God, that was crazy.
Dude, it legitimately looks like he was going to pop the bone out of the knee. It looked fucking disgusting. Honma does like one of his headbutts off the top onto the floor on Ishii's shoulder.
That. That's crazy.
And I'm like, why? I audibly said, I was just by myself in my room. I go, why the fuck would you do that? And it's like, you know why? Because these fuckers are out of their mind. This match is this match is raw, folks. It's two guys just beating the shit out of each other. And this is why one of the reasons I really like it is because Ishii takes control really early. Yeah. But it feels the entire time like Honma is trying to match his energy. So in the early stages when Ishii is more slower and his attacks are more subdued, Honma's matching that, right? He's more careful with his strikes. He's thinking about them more. He's keeping a distance so that it doesn't become an early sort. That's after the initial forearm exchange, which you get really early on. He starts to back up more, keep his distance away. And then by the end, when Ishii's completely like fucked him to death, just killed him completely, he's like, well, goddamn, I don't know how I'm supposed to beat this guy. I'm just going to start slapping him and hitting him with forearms and hitting him with punches and kicking him. Because goddamn, if I'm going to die, I'm going to try to at least take this guy's leg. I got to do something. And it just turns into this exchange where it's sweats flying. The crowd's losing their mind. Ishii is standing there. You forget how short Ishii is because he comes off like a much larger man. It's absolutely insane. Joe, to your point about how you forget that Ishii, like how they used to move. I think you brought this up when we watched Punk and Cena last night in the Discord. Like these guys have been around for so long that you just forget how they used to be 10 years. Like guys, I was 10 years old when this match happened. You know, like
Father Time is undefeated, bro.
It does. It gets everybody. But like the cool thing is you have the footage. You can literally look this match up, and goddamn, this thing is just so awesome. It just feels so refreshing because the opening forearm exchange, I feel like I see that in every match now.
but there's just it's a different vibe.
Bro, it's the energy in the building when they see it.
Yes.
It's like they haven't seen it before. 'Cause
They
that's 10
haven't.
years ago,
They're
dog.
laying it in too, dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like we've talked about with like DQ finish and stuff. It's all about context. It's all about the case by case basis. In this match, you've probably seen this type of match a million times over. And I guarantee you, 999,995 of those matches don't work as well as this one does. There's just a certain snap. There's a certain crunch. There's a certain feel. This is dudes rock. This is dudes are stupid. CTE exemplified. Goddamn,
Fucking raw sex, Adonis. Just say it.
For all the physicality and all the headbutts and the forearms and the lariats and all that, like, there is still something beyond that though, under the surface.
It's a
of,
very
like,
human element, yeah.
Honma is an underdog,
Yes,
and in this particular matchup, Ishii is able to be a bully, like, and that's something that's really fun because of his height, Ishii can be like, he can be prickly and abrasive. He always is, but there's very few guys that he can be like an outright front runner against. Against Honma, he can be a front runner. He can be at one point he's like punting him on the mat, and Honma and the people are with him. This whole trilogy is worth watching. I don't have a ton to add because this is not a match where the content is expansive. They just beat the fuck out of each other. Ishii's one particular knockout sell of a Honma forearm is one of the best of his whole career, and that's saying something. But the main thing I wanted to do here was just spotlight this because this was a huge match for my personal, like, kind of fandom in terms of I hadn't really seen this before at the time, you know, so this style, Ishii really introduced me to it, and I was a huge mark for Honma as the underdog of New Japan. This is followed up by him and Togi Makabe winning the tag league, and then he gets his moment at the Dome where they win the tag straps from the Good Brothers. So, like, they pay off his thing, Honma. And I remember that being a really big deal, and I think a lot of New Japan fans now got into it, like, a year later, and basically have no idea that Honma was, like, important or mad. And when I say important, he wasn't, like, you know, a top guy, but he was fucking over, and his matches were great. So, I recommend people watch this trilogy. We haven't really spoiled anything, because they just whack each other, and that's what they do.
Joe, how into New Japan were you at this? Like, in that moment in 2015?
That was
like your real
wrestling. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
That's what people. So, the Cole Anderson Good Brothers thing is like people don't fully appreciate the way, you know, perception changes over time. But like what I said at the start of this is true. The main event of this show is Shinsuke and Cole Anderson.
Yes,
like,
it is.
So that's why all of that stuff is real. It's the truth, you know. So I was a huge mark. I still believe and will die on the hill. And I know they had great matches and all that stuff. I still think 2013 through 2015, I think New Japan is.
That's a New Japan that I love a lot. When I did my watch through, that's the stuff that really.
Perfect. I think it's perfect. Like, there's no perfect promotion. What I mean is, like,
for
me personally, it ticked every box I wanted in a wrestling promotion. Like, everyone's role was defined. The roster wasn't too big, so you saw, like, guys get a lot of spotlight. They could do things like, okay, let's pay off Honma's story at the Dome, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, it's just.
It was a more like. Awesome. It felt like a more freeing promotion in that, like, you could see a guy who, in like, if this was an American promotion, would not be given this like spot. Like, you could see different people in different spots. And then obviously, I mean, he's not. I don't know if he's on the show, but I just have to say that, like, AJ Styles in this era, like 2014, 2015 AJ. This is my personal, Joe, to your point. This is when I got into wrestling outside because a friend of mine who's like a really big wrestling fan, he was like, hey, you really need to check out this AJ Styles guy. And so he would like send me stuff to watch. And so this is when I got into wrestling outside of WWE. Obviously, I wasn't like old enough to really understand it, but I just remember thinking AJ Styles had cool pants and he could jump really high. So,
the matches were we're watching Power Struggle on Sunday with Ibu on LNG Gold. It used to be our tier. But like the show's 2 hours and 47 minutes long, I think. The whole show.
Is that the
like
Anderson
5 singles matches?
Is that Tanahashi Anderson?
That match is Okada and Cole, and I don't remember that match being great. But like it's the main event, and also on the show is there's like a fucking Tanahashi Ishii match, I think. It's like I remember being awesome. So I think Shin and Suzuki's but it's on there too. But this era of New Japan was magic. So Cool match to talk about. Cool match to look back on. Definitely goes a little far at times, but that's, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It is what it is, brother. It's unapologetic with its violence. It is blunt. It is brutal. It is bruising. It's a classic. It is 10 years old today. So happy birthday, I guess, to Honma and Ishii, Power Struggle 2015. Legitimately, maybe their third best match of that year, which is like hilarious. I'd have to rewatch the second one, but yeah. Awesome. That brings us to a close. We're going to do some plugs. Again, I want to stress Power Struggle this Sunday. I mean, it used to be better tier member. He was going to be joining us. We're watching Power Struggle 2013. The Discord will be important in terms of syncing up with us. Novi, do you have any plugs?
Do you want to first list our top 3 matches, the ones we watched?
You know what? That's not a bad idea at all, Novi. I apologize. I looked at the time and I thought this, that's a good idea. Yeah. Novi, you go first.
I'm going to go with...
Should we take Honma and Ishii out, though? Because it's so obviously...
That would be one.
Yeah, let's just do them all.
Yeah. All right. Give me Goto and Takeshita at 1. Give me Priest and Something at 2. And give me... fuck it. Give me Bliss and Flair. Lyra and Bayley at 3.
Yeah. I got... I've also got Goto and Takeshita at 1. I don't want to do the exact same list, but I'll just flip the tag and Priest and Something. They're very close for me. But I got the same top 3. I just got a slightly different order. We're on the same page here, Novi. You and I, mate. We're in this together. Caden Lee.
Yeah, I got Goto Takeshita at my 1. I'm going to join Joe on Bliss and Charlotte. Bayley, Lyra at my number 2. And for 3, I'll go with Bandido and Okada.
Wonderful. Adonis, your top 3?
Yeah, so I'll go with Priest and Something at 1. I'll go with Allies of Convenience, Bayley and Lyra at 2. And I'm sticking with it. I made a big point. I'm going with Nagata and Aoki at 3. I'm keeping.
I was
sticking with it. I fucking adore that shit.
I like the match. I like the match. Novi, do you have any plugs? Thanks for doing that too, because I forgot.
I have 3 things to say. I'll be on both shows this weekend.
Oh shit!
I am working on a video. It's not for wrestling. It's another thing entirely. Probably it's gonna be about movies. So that's actually something I'm confirming I'm gonna do. I keep saying that I'm gonna do it, then I just don't watch wrestling. So it's it's probably just lock in on movie. So look out for that. And then number 3, I just crossed the hour a little bit ago on the East Coast. I want to wish a happy birthday to Kazuchika Okada, his 38th birthday. Yeah, what a guy, man.
Greats.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah. He actually is one of the greats. But I will admit, quote tweeting that news with my bad, I did pump myself.
This guy came
I did pump myself.
Great figure.
Thanks.
Yeah, that tweet I was very proud of. It only makes sense to watch the show, but it's still a good tweet. Caden Lee, any plugs?
I will be on the show Sunday. I'll be a little late. I don't get off work until 7:45. So I should be there for Joe. You don't care that much. I'll be there for the last 2 or 3 matches. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Adonis, any plugs?
Prelims.
Yeah, I will not be on the show Sunday unless somebody gets hurt and then Joe just calls me. It's I need you, bro. Yeah, I'm the break the emergency glass guy. I'm just on standby.
True.
However, I will be on Full Sail Behind next Wednesday at 6 Eastern. I think is the time. I don't actually know. Joe's looking at me like I shouldn't have said that.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I couldn't remember what you're talking about. That's right.
Okay. I was just making sure I could actually say that out loud. And then the big thing that I'm doing this month that I'm really excited about is the week of November 17th. On the 17th, I'll be at Madison Square Garden to see John Cena for the final time as an active wrestler. And so the day or 2 after that, me and Joe are doing a recap video on Cena's year. We're going to be talking about our 5 favorite and 5 least favorite things of the year. And in that video, there's an announcement of a video that I've been working on since May that is coming out in December. You guys can probably guess what it is, but it's going to be really fun. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, a lot of stuff. I'm here, I think.
It's going to be tremendous. So is next week's flagship, live and free, 1 week from tonight. We are going to be counting down the unofficial LNG list of greatest Eddie Guerrero matches. We've got some awesome ballots. Our great friend Tape Machines even chipped in with a ballot, which was cool. We got some on Discord. We got some on Twitter. We're going to have a countdown here next week. for the Eddie Guerrero match list, which should be very, very fun. Yeah, as I said, Power Struggle on Sunday. So, by the way, you can still get those Eddie Guerrero ballots in. This is pretty much the last. This weekend, pretty much, will be a wrap for that. But if you still want to do it, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Discord, either or. Your top 5 Eddie Guerrero matches in order. That's all you need to do. We're going to be doing this for Cena next month, too. So, all right. This has been awesome. Do me one last favor if you're in the chat. Please like the video, and then here's the actual favor, because I already said that. Comment what your favorite wrestling match has been over the last month. Last month. Your favorite wrestling match.
That's a big chunk of time.
Yeah, last month, right? That's like it can be any promotion. Doesn't have to be from the matches we covered here. Just comment your favorite match last month.
If it's a match that I don't like, I'm banning you, but that's just like a side thing.
I would genuinely be intrigued to see like how varied the responses are. So
I think it'll be. I mean, you open it up like that, it's going to be pretty varied. I think. I don't know.
So, please, folks, just take a moment. It'll be intriguing. It will help us out, and it also gives me an idea of like where, because I can't ever tell where our audience is in terms of what they actually watch.
Yeah.
So
it's good for the next time we do one of these.
Like
See what
actually,
you guys are.
Yeah, no, legit, it is.
Like legitimately, yeah.
Yeah.
So please do that.
Yeah.
Have a great night. Keep grinning, all how. Enjoy this outro. Goodbye.